All right, all right. It looks like we are live. Hello, what is going on this lovely Thursday Beehive? Let me know what you guys got going on this weekend, other than our members live stream that is happening on Saturday at 12 p.m. Um, what other weekend plans do you have? Today, we'll get into the live stream in a little later, or talking about the members live stream a little later. But today we are doing an update on the Meghan Markle versus Samantha Markle, or Samantha Markle versus Meghan Markle defamation lawsuit. There is an update. She is still fighting this thing. So we're going to take a look at her new complaint to see if she is going to be alleging facts that are sufficient enough to establish her, defamation claim. Hello to everyone watching in the live stream. I'm going to jump into the chat in just a little moment. But for those of you who do not know me, I am Boss Attorney Bree, and here on this channel, we cover celebrity lawsuits, trademark lawsuits, copyright lawsuits, and really whatever the heck we feel like covering. And today is going to be a celebrity lawsuit type of day. So if you are into that, please do hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. We are trying to grow the channel this year, on the way to 50K subscribers. It's moving a little slow, but that's okay. We're still going to have that as our goal. Welcome into the live stream. Let's see. And for those of you watching on the replay, hello to you as well. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Tanya D dropping by early, real early, saying, oh, Lord, she just won't let it go. No, she is not letting this thing go. We are still talking about this defamation lawsuit. This has been going on since, I guess 2022. So not too long, but still, it's already been dismissed. And she brought it back. But remember, they only dismiss the writings in the book, but not necessarily the sayings, or not the sayings, but what she said on with Oprah Winfrey in that interview. So she still, if she can plead it correctly, there's a potential that she could win. Do I think the most of the things that she was talking about, to me, felt more opinion based, but if she's able to plead it differently in this complaint, then she may be able to get over her burden of pleading facts sufficient enough to get past a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. So yeah, we'll get a little bit more into that as we go further into the stream. So no, Tanya, she is not letting it go. Keys Sunset for Life dropping by early as well, saying excited to see what they think of the amended complaint. I felt it was written better than the first one. Glad that Sam is sticking to her guns. Okay, we have someone supporting Samantha and moving forward in this claim. I have not looked at it yet. It's going to be a live reaction for me. So I'm excited to see what she wrote. Of course, good lawyering, good complaint. I'm excited to see if they fix their mistakes. But are these sayings going to be considered defamation? I don't know. And if it is considered defamation, is she getting any money out of it? Like, how much did Meghan Markle, if it's found that she did interfere with her business, how much did she interfere? How much would she owe her? Lambe Bay, member of the channel, hello, welcome in, saying, hey, y'all. I'll be in and out today. I got an epidural style shot. Oh no, in my spine, and they put me under, so a girl is on another planet. Well, I think you broke your hand, right? I'm happy that you're getting treatment, but I'm sorry that you got an epidural shot. Those sound scary, but I hope you are doing okay. Lambe Bay says, I will definitely be here Saturday and may make an appearance on the live. Just depends on what we talk about. I have no idea what we're talking about. We're just going to kind of figure it out as we go. We may just kind of talk about things that have happened over the past month or so with the cases. But I will look more into it on tomorrow when I have some time to look into some cases to cover. Lambe Bay says, how do you become a moderator for Bree? Oh, I have to do it on the back end. I do need to add in more moderators because some people that are moderators don't show up anymore. So I do have to add more moderators in the back end, and I will do that. I should do that before the members live stream. Hello, Swinky says, hey, Bree and Beehive. Hope everyone is well. Hello, welcome in. Nice to see you here. Another member and moderator of the channel. Nice to see you. Hello. We have our rogue employee that just walked in. Can you bring me some water, please?
Oh no, I'm a rogue employee.
I forgot to get water.
Oh, you want the rogue employee to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Rogue employee just got here. Not coming to work today, obviously, but he's gonna bring some water. At least he can do that, right? All right. Have a question for a moderator. What would be the question for the moderator? Let's see. Hope you feel better. Talambe Bay. Cheryl C. Hello. Welcome in. Saying hi to everyone. Hello. Nice to see you here. Another member of the channel. Victor Man 7777 says, love you're here. Thank you very much. It's the due for the last couple of weeks. I think it's coming out this weekend. Don't know what I'm doing next. So thank you so much. Lambe Bay said, I would love to offer my marketing services as a thank you to Bree, as a thank you for creating such a safe, amazing community. That would be awesome because I am not good at marketing. So let me know. I don't know if you can send me a message on Twitter if I don't follow you, and I don't really follow anybody on Twitter. So I think I do have my email link though. If you want to send me an email on how to do that, please feel free, or how you can help doing that, please feel free. I would very much so appreciate it. And I love the community, so I'm sure they would appreciate it too. Marianne Williams, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you, another member of the channel. Summer Butterfly, another member of the channel, saying hello to everyone. Hello, welcome in. Have you guys seen the complaint? I haven't. I have the complaint. Thank you very much. I have the complaint, but I have not looked at it. So let me know if you guys have checked it out yet. We're going to definitely get into it today. And this is the third amended complaint, guys. She's had to change it 3 times. It's her last chance. This is her last chance. Tanya D says, it was only a few of us in the beginning, so I was chosen by default. No, you weren't chosen by default. Tanya, no, you weren't chosen by default. You're just a loyal member and friend of the channel. Okay? That sounds so bad. All right, blessed mama of 4, welcome in. Hi, how are you doing today? I can't believe you, Tanya, for saying that. Lambe Bay says that's one way. And I promise you it's not default. It's people that are here supporting the channel and that I can trust removing people from my channel, because you will have the ability to block people from my channel. Elise Lynch, hello, welcome in, another member of the channel. I hope to see a lot of you on the live stream on Saturday. Don't know what we're talking about, but would just love to chat. Amy Evans saying hi, great to see you. Hello, welcome back into the live stream. Nice to see you today. Marianne Williams says, only way to keep going to get her 15 minutes. Only way to, her 15 minutes of fame, right? Where's Elaine when we need the, are you here for your 15 minutes of fame? Elaine, are you here for your 15 minutes of fame? I don't know. She has some supporters. She definitely has some supporters. We're going to check out one of Nate's interviews with her. Try not to, steal his whole content, but I do want to react with you guys because I said I was going to watch it and I still haven't. So I feel like the only way I will watch it is if I do it on the live stream. Deacon Fiddle says hi to me in chat. Today was Murphy's Law for me. Murphy's Law for you? Well, welcome into the live stream. Was that what you covered in your class? Let's see. Law Nerd Amber says, I'll volunteer as a mod. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to put some mods on. So if you are interested in it, I'm going to try to keep a mental note. I don't have a pen, or I have a pen, but no paper here today. So let's go. Let's see who we got here. Nope, and the pen doesn't work. Okay, and I know Lambe Bay wants to be one as well. I just want to make sure I don't forget anyone. All right, the Beto saying, I think you're talking about with the alpha stuff. People saying hi to alpha. I'm behind in the chat already. Ari says, hey, Bree, what area of law do you practice in? I'd love to hear you cover cases in that area. So I actually cover family law cases, and I also cover trademark. So we do cover that here on this channel, the trademark cases. Family law is a little bit harder because there's a lot of child support stuff going on and then divorces, but I don't really know the celebrities that get divorces. So I'm not that interested in their case. So when I do have time, I do cover Kim Kardashian, Kanye West. I'm interested in their case. But for most of the celebrities getting a divorce, I either was not doing YouTube at the time that they were getting a divorce, or they're just people I don't know. Sheila says, hi from Newport Beach. Hello, welcome into the live stream. Rachel Mills says, did you read the Meghan article? It was so good. I have not. Who wrote the article? Law Nerd Amber says, Bree, my coworker is so mad at Netflix over the live stream that wasn't over Love is Blind. Yes, that was a hot mess. That was a complete hot mess. I was very upset with the Love is Blind reunion. It wasn't good and it was late. So I can definitely understand why your coworker is upset about it. Cheryl C says, Bree, I'll be happy to mod if you need it. I may not make the next member stream, but I mod a couple other channels, so I'd be happy to help out. Well, awesome. I think a lot of people are gonna get modded, and we're gonna have a chat full of mods and members, but that's okay. I love loyal supporters of the channel, so that is good. Metonymy 1979 says, money grabs. I bet she's writing a new book or needs to get on shows for money. Hey, I don't know. I just feel like she popped up out of nowhere. And I've said this on my stream like a million times. I'm not a Meghan Markle fan or supporter or anything like that. It just does seem like it's kind of, oh, you all of a sudden changed your last name when she started dating the prince. It just seems a little odd. And like, who's that offended by her saying that she didn't grow up with you? I mean, that's her, to me, it's an opinion. All right, I'm getting way behind. Okay, let me try to catch up. Let's do this one. Rachel Mill says, oh, and I went to watch jury selection yesterday for Danny Matterson trial. It was such an amazing experience. I am not familiar with that one. But other than that, I'm going to skip some chats today because I'm way behind in the chat and I do want to get into this document. I don't plan on streaming too long tonight, so I am going to be jumping back and forth in the chat and then also on the complaint. And then we're also going to watch Nate's interview, his initial interview. Well, I think he has two parts. We're going to watch part one of the interview, and then you guys can let me know if you want to watch part two or not. Let me know if you've already watched it. Which one should we get into? I think we should do the interview first and then jump into the complaint and see what she has. No, let's do the complaint first and then we'll jump into the interview. Even though the interview was a little bit before this complaint, that's okay. Let's go ahead. And of course, Bree does not have life together today and I have not shared my screen. So let me get that going. All right, there we are. We are in there. Okay, this is Samantha Markle versus Meghan Markle in federal court. This is the third amended complaint. Like I said, she's changed her complaint 2 other times. So the original, the second, and now this is the third. She got her claims dismissed. What was that, 2-3 weeks ago? Her claims were dismissed. And now she is bringing it back for her to tell us some more stuff of why she thinks she's being defamed by her little sister. All right, the plaintiff Samantha Markle, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby serves the third amended complaint for damages against the defendant Meghan Markle and alleges as follows. We're going to skip over jurisdiction and venue because that's boring. We're going to skip over the parties because we know who they are. Let's get into the prefatory statement. Meghan is an American actress who achieved success and fame. Thank you for shouting her out on that. In her own right. However, as fate had it, she met and ultimately married Prince Harry, grandson of Queen Elizabeth of the British Empire and second son of King Charles III. For reasons of her own, Meghan distanced herself and denied familiarity or closeness with her family, including Samantha, who is Meghan's half-sister on their father's side. I get it, be offended by it, but don't sue because they don't want to be associated with you. Okay, let's see. During their childhood, Meghan was very close to her older sister. Despite the remember we calculated this, the 17-year difference in age, Samantha was more than a model to follow. She was also someone who regularly went to Thomas Markle as he drove Meghan to and from school and acting classes. Among many other things, Samantha helped Meghan with her homework, took her on shopping trips to the local mall, and overall had a good, wonderful relationship with her sister. Again, that is her opinion of the relationship. Like, you can't expect her to also feel that same way. Maybe you were annoying. I don't know. Once Meghan started to have success as an actress, she no longer had time for her older sister, Samantha. And by 2016, the two had stopped visiting though there were no bad feelings between them as far as Samantha knew. Okay, she's changed her story. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but she has changed her story. She initially said they had been close. They talked on the phone all the time. Even, I think, up probably past 2016. I want to say 2018 was the last time she said they kind of stopped seeing each other or stopped talking to each other, and they would talk on the phone every day. Like, now she's saying that they had, let me see, that as soon as she became an actress, right? Once she was an actress, they stopped communicating as much. So which one is it? Were you guys close from the beginning and all the way up until she got with Harry? Or was it that, oh, you guys were already fading off at the beginning of her acting career? Which one is it? She's changing her story here. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That just kind of stood out to me. Let's see. Let me see if I can catch in some chats real quick while I am here. Tika Fatal saying, wait, her sister? Yes, they are sisters. And this is the third complaint that she's filing on this, changing her stories to me. I remember her saying that they talked on the phone every day, like up until 2018. I could be misquoting, but she did say they talked on the phone every day. And now she's saying that, oh, they started to, fade off when she became an actress, which I'm pretty sure was way before 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Deacon Fatal says that is just what families do, though. Yes, and the thing is, like, maybe you are annoying to her. Maybe she doesn't like you. That doesn't really give you a right to sue because you thought you had a good relationship with her, but she says that she hasn't had a good relationship with you and you're chasing fame. That can be her opinion. It feels like you're chasing fame. At first you say you had this close relationship with her. Now you're saying it faded off because she was an actress. You're like, oh, just because you're an actress doesn't mean you don't have to be nice. That makes it sound like you're chasing fame. Like, to me, that makes it sound like you're chasing fame. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Deacon Fatal says, yes, I did. I don't know exactly what you're referring to there. Rachel Mills says, man, Samantha needs to just drop it. She's not willing to drop it. That's why we're here today, giving us content, right? Mary Malarkey, hello, welcome into the live stream, saying, oh, you're covering Markle versus Markle. I didn't know there's an update. Yay. Yes, we covered it also, I think, like 2 weeks ago when her motion got dismissed as well. We have a couple videos on this. So if you want to catch up on some of the other coverage, you definitely can. B10 says Meghan Markle is a narcissist. Maybe so. Maybe Meghan Markle is, but she does not have to be friends with her sister. She just doesn't have to. Deacon Fatal says, to me, what films has Meghan performed in? Because I can't list the film she played in. Like I said, I'm not a fan of her, so I couldn't help you on that. The only reason why I know of Meghan Markle is because she was in Suits, and like when I was in law school, people would ask me if I watch Suits and do I support Meghan Markle because apparently she's black, she's half black. And so they thought I would be a fan of the show, one, because I was in law school, and then also a fan of her because she's black. And I'm like, I don't know that lady. I don't know that lady. And now she's become, was a duchess and now she's not a duchess. I also don't really keep up with the royal family either, but they're talking mess about the black girl in the royal house. So I know a little bit about it, but definitely not her fan. Could not tell you what movie she's in. Could not tell you what other TV shows she was in. I only know she was in that TV show is because that's what people talk about to me about her. But other than that, I would never know. Saying maybe doesn't mean Samantha should automatically win the case. Yeah, just because she's a narcissist, that's okay. She can be a narcissist, allegedly, but doesn't mean she has to be nice to Samantha. I agree with you, Tanya D. Ari says to Tanya D, I don't think there's any foundation for it. The organization that made the claim says Madonna's corrupting the kids because she took provocative pics with other women in the 92. Oh, that sounds familiar. Oh, I want to look into that. That sounds familiar. I feel like it's come across my my desk, but I haven't really looked into that. But I'll let y'all have that conversation. Ari says, question: if Samantha Markle case gets dismissed again. Love it. Does she have to pay everybody's legal fees? She can. Meghan Markle can ask for the legal fees to be paid. I'm sorry, y'all. This is like cutting my face off. All right, we got a little bit of computer in there, but that's okay. I just don't want my face being cut off. Now my hair is all the way at the top. It's okay, whatever. Okay, let's see. Nope, we're having some not technical difficulties, but visual difficulties. Does she have to pay legal fees? Meghan can ask for her to pay her legal fees, and if I'm not mistaken, she did ask for her to pay the legal fees, but maybe she didn't because she just wants it to go away. So don't quote me on that. Let's see. Robert Hines says, attempted money grab part 3. Here we are, part 3, trying to get the money. All right, let's see. And yes, welcome into the live stream, Robert Hines. Nice to see you. Harper Polo saying, laugh my A off, right? Deacon Fatal says, to me, I'm too poor to worry about rich folks' problem. Kind of rich, queen rich. I just want gas money. I feel you on that. But hey, it gives us something to talk about on Legal Tube. I don't know what you want to call it. On YouTube in the middle of the night. And just to talk about them. We don't have to support them. We just talk about them. Kimmy Davis says, Samantha needs to get over this. I have no problem with Meghan Markle, and I don't think she's a narcissist. I don't get all of the hate she gets. People spend so much time hating her. I feel you on that, Kimmy. I don't have time to hate on any celebrities, okay? So I definitely feel you on that. Don't know much about her to even judge her. But I feel like if you're a celebrity, you're in the light, people are going to find some reason to have a problem with you. I really don't know what Meghan has done, okay, other than marry the prince. I don't know what she has done offensively. Like I said, I don't really keep up with the royal family and what they're required to do and things like that. But she probably most likely does get hate that she probably doesn't deserve. But I mean, how could we really avoid it? Or not we, but how could celebrities really avoid it, right? I don't know her. Yeah, she don't know her. Same to Deacon Fatal. Ari says, I believe everything she says about that family being racist AF. Are you referring to Meghan saying that her family is racist, or the Meghan saying that the royals are racist? Which one? Raining off and on, where Tanya D is. Chelsea says, Madonna has been accused of negatively influencing kids since the 80s. It's nothing new. Is it a lawsuit? If it's a lawsuit, we could cover it. But if it's not a lawsuit, we're not going to cover it. All right, you guys are chatting with each other, so I'm going to skip over that. Tanya D is reminding us, speaking of support, make sure you hit the like button to support Bree and the Bree Hive. Yes, thank you so much for reminding us, guys. Remember, we have 100 like per stream goal. If you have not hit the like button, please do so. We are at 39 likes with 35 people watching live. So if you have not hit the like button, please do to help out the stream. It helps us gain more friends, more traction, more fun, right? Deacon Fatal says Popeye cartoon. I don't know what you're referring to. Let's see. Keys Sunsets for Life says she didn't change her name after Meghan met Harry. She did it before she met Harry. Meghan lied in court. I would have to look at the paperwork again because I'm not sure if she said she did it when she met Harry, but I know it was after she was already famous. There's that. But we would need to, do you have the name change paperwork? When did she change the name and when did she meet Harry? That's the type of evidence they're going to have to show. And then with the statement of changing the name, okay, maybe she didn't change it exactly when she met Harry, but her problem with Meghan's statement is that she's saying it she actually let people infer whether she changed her name to gain the popularity or whether she changed her name for other reasons. But Meghan just let people infer that, like, hey, what do you think that means? Kind of situation. Doesn't necessarily mean it's defamation. You might not like what someone says, does not mean that it's defamation. Deacon Fatal says that the royals are racist. That would make sense. That would make sense because that was a lot of the big issues with her that I saw popping up was saying she's a black girl. She's a black girl. I don't really consider her a black girl. I consider her an interracial woman that's half black. But that was kind of like the bigger headlines of Meghan Markle when she came out. Or not came out, but started dating Harry. Ari says, haha, Brie, what she did wrong was marry the prince while being black. How dare she? At this point, right? Because I don't really remember hearing much news of her before that. And the other thing with her is that she was a divorcee, right? She had been married before, and people were like, oh, no, you can't marry an unpure woman or whatever it is. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, this is 2023, right? Aaron Town says, I think it's only fair to judge people by their behavior and naive to ignore repeated bad acts. That makes sense. I agree with you there. I feel you. I'm definitely not a main character. That's funny. Digifado says 40 likes. We're at 40 likes. Good job. We boosted it a little bit. Cheryl C says, oh, you guys are talking about weather still. Laura Howard, hello. Welcome to the live stream saying, so were they in touch when she was? I remember me and CSI Miami, or once everyone knew her from Suits, just sus. Yeah, so I didn't, like I said, I don't keep up with her, so I didn't even know she was on CSI Miami. I stopped watching CSI a while ago, before 2016 for sure. But I don't know. It was definitely after she was already famous, because it was more recently, and she had these names after being divorced for a very long time. Hello Swanky reminding us how to become a member, guys. Make sure to check out that chat if you would like to become a member, because we do have a members live stream coming up. Y'all, I feel like when I be reading the articles, you guys do not be chatting. But then when I jump in chat, it's just a bunch of chats that I can never catch up, which I love. I love the interaction, but I feel like I'm always behind in chats now. Key Sunset for Life says, yes, she provided it already. The name change, she changed it before she met Harry. Okay, well, we have not, I have not looked that much into the facts. So not the facts, but into the evidence. So definitely, even if the thing is even if that part is not true, does not mean it's defamation, because she would have had to say something to say, oh, she changed her name so that she can get fame from me and Harry, when Meghan did not say that. She just basically said, what do y'all think of that? And what Samantha inferred was that people thought she changed it for fame, for her 15 minutes of fame. So, even if it's false, you have to still show that it defamed her, that it hurt her. MG Mustang says, happy 420, everyone. That would make the world chill. Right. This might need to put it into this case, right? Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, once Meghan met and began dating Harry, Meghan became hostile, all right, to Samantha, as well as her half-brother and her father. And Meghan's relationship with Samantha became estranged. The first sign of Meghan's hostility towards Samantha was in 2017, the year when Meghan announced her engagement to Prince Harry. I forgot who was saying that in the chat, the sunset. What day did she change her name? What day did she change her name? If you know, let us know, so we can see if it was before, after, or during. The first sign of Meghan's hostility was in 2017, the year where Meghan announced her engagement to Prince Harry. Prior to their engagement, Samantha phoned her sister Meghan from time to time. She said they talked. Oh my gosh, she's changing her story. At first, she said they talked every day. Now she's saying she will call her from time to time. Come on, y'all. You cannot tell me she's not changing her story. Oh my gosh. Talk from time to time to catch up with Meghan. The defining moment highlighting Meghan's unwarranted hostility towards Samantha occurred when Samantha called Meghan while Meghan was on break from work at her home in Canada with her mother. When Samantha called Meghan, Meghan hung up the phone immediately upon hearing Samantha's voice. That was strange as it had never happened before, and so Samantha called right back and left a message. To this day, Meghan has never returned Samantha's phone call. It sounds like her feelings are hurt to me. I don't know why I'm not taking this seriously. Maybe if my sister did that to me, my feelings would be hurt. I don't know. We have Marianne Williams. Thank you so much for the super sticker. For those of you that are everyone's on YouTube. On YouTube, you can see the sticker. I think it's a little fox dancing saying thank you. Well, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for supporting the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Let's get back into the case. It sounds like her feelings are hurt. Since 2017, she hasn't returned my phone call. Okay. Following that surprising response to Samantha's phone call and continuing to the present, Meghan has belligerently attempted to malign Samantha as well as her family members, as it is Meghan's method to terminate friendships rather than save them, and for her to become hostile. But why is she becoming hostile? Like, did you do something or did you not do such? She's being mean to me, and so I want the court to order that she pay me money. What? I'm confused. Ari says, Meghan Markle hate is like when people don't like Anne Hathaway and can't really explain why. I felt that way about Amber Heard, but after reflection, I didn't have an actual reason. It was just fashionable to dislike her. Right. The thing is, I covered the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I do not dislike Amber Heard. Like, I really don't. I just think that her case was bad. I don't dislike her, though. But I get what you're saying there. It's just fashion to not like her. Thank you for the super chat. Yes. Robert Hines says, I think I need potato chips. I hope you find a good snack. All right. Megan says, I love it here. Love you, Bree. Hello. Welcome into the live stream. I'm glad that you're having a good time. Kimmy Davis says, she constantly changes her story all the time. This is why her children, who she didn't raise, want nothing to do with her. Not you coming for her, Kimmy. You really just came for that lady. But yeah, she's changing her story. Like, as I read it further, after just reading the motion to dismiss, her story has changed substantially. In my opinion, it has changed. First, she talked to her every day. Now she's saying she talked to her from time to time. Now she's saying she hasn't talked to her since 2017. I don't know. She said that she's began distancing herself when she started acting, but in her original complaint said that they were very close and that it wasn't true that she hadn't seen her for 10 or so years, which it sounds like she had at least been famous for 10 or so years. So I don't know, Meghan. Not Meghan, Samantha. I'm not buying it. Not saying that Meghan Markle is a wonderful person, but why are you mad that she doesn't want to be your friend? Or if she terminates friendships, she doesn't want to, you know what the thing is now? People don't like keeping, negative relationships. I'm trying to think of the word. What is it called? Toxic relationships. People like to get out of those. And so it kind of seems like Meghan wanted to get rid of certain family members and friends out of her life who maybe she thought were toxic, and she did. And now Samantha's complaining about it. She thinks I'm toxic. Basically, that's what I'm getting from it. Is Meghan probably thought that Samantha was toxic, the dad was toxic, the stepbrother was toxic, and she no longer wants to associate with them. I don't think that's wrong to do. If she doesn't want to use her energy to deal with them, she can definitely do that. On May 19, 2018, Meghan married Prince Harry at St. George Chapel in Windsor Castle in the United Kingdom. Out of Meghan's entire immediate extended family, only her mother, Doria Ragland, was formally invited to the wedding. Boo freaking who? Like, who cares? Who cares? I think what you're doing is proving that you don't have a close relationship with her, which is what Meghan said. Okay. Meghan verbally invited Thomas Markle, the father of Samantha and Meghan, only to disinvite him shortly before the wedding. Maybe he was getting on her nerves, giving out stories, you know. Prior to the wedding, Thomas Markle suffered 2 heart attacks, and is she trying to make the judge feel sorry for them? and for obvious medical reasons was not able to attend. Well, he was disinvited. So that's a thing. Maybe she disinvited him because she didn't want him to travel because he suffered 2 heart attacks. Have you ever thought about that? I don't know if that's true. I'm just speculating, but whether he was already uninvited. So why would he come even though he had these whatever? Meghan knew of his medical condition, and instead of showing grace and compassion, she effectively terminated her relationship with her father because she believed he had attempted to gain publicity due to Meghan's engagement. She can make that decision. Around that time, the media discovered Samantha and began contacting her for interviews. Samantha accepted the request, okay, what Meghan complained about, and made glowing and positive statements about her sister Meghan and her upcoming wedding. Okay, you were nice. I need to see the interviews, but she's saying she was nice. During an interview with one of Samantha's statements was taken out of context and misconstrued. Samantha revealed that Meghan had not yet contacted her father, despite knowing that Thomas recently suffered 2 heart attacks. So you were talking mess about her, talking about she's not even going to see her daddy, and he had heart attacks. That is messed up to say. I would see why Meghan would be offended by that. But she's saying, oh, it was taken out of context. But can we also say that Meghan saying she was not close to Samantha is also taken out of context, or also an opinion, or whatever you want to call it? But it's only like Samantha only sees her feelings, right? Samantha's misconstrued statement was apparently the tipping point of Meghan's relationship with Samantha. After the interview with Samantha, the press released numerous stories about how Samantha bashed Meghan. That is low-key bashing. I mean, maybe she didn't like try to bash her, but that is kind of sly. Like you knew that was slick to say. I'm sorry, you probably knew that was slick to say. When Samantha has simply expressed concern for both her father and her sister Meghan. However, once the issue was out in the public, Meghan became a relentless foe to her sister. I'm sorry, y'all. That's kind of messed up to say. Our dad had 2 heart attacks and she hasn't even reached out to him. That sounds bad. That makes Meghan look bad. I could see why Meghan would be mad at that. That makes her look bad. Like, oh, I don't care about my dad that's in the hospital. What do y'all think? I think that's bad to say. Okay. MG Mustang said, for people who constantly ask for privacy, they sure find ways to demand attention. Why do people care? Right. They always find themselves into publicity, or if she wasn't trying to spill beans about Meghan and her wedding and not being invited, why did she take the interview? Like, you knew that would get a lot of attention. Yeah. Guys, if you have not hit the like button already, please do. We are at 49 likes and we have 50 people watching live. So if you have not hit the like button, help us get to our 100 like goal. Let's see, where are we here in the chat? Mary Malarkey says, I remember when Samantha showed up at Kensington Palace and tried to deliver a letter to Meghan. It happened on October 1st, 2018. Security took the letter and sent her away. So creepy. And you just said that she never returned your call from 2016. Now you're showing up at her house or wherever, whatever you want to call it. You're showing up to try to give her a letter. That's like stalker behavior almost, right? Jazzy G, welcome into the live stream, saying Samantha Markle is so tired. Move on. She's not tired yet. She wants to keep going. Loretta says Meghan is the one who is toxic. She married into the royal family. Harry had a good relationship with William until she came along. She has bad-mouthed her family and the royal family. Samantha has a point. Samantha may be right that Meghan Markle is not nice. Does not mean that Meghan Markle defamed her and Meghan Markle owe her money. She can talk crap about whoever she wants. Doesn't mean she has a legal action, right? Unless she's doing something to defame them, right? Or to hurt their business. Harry, I don't know. I don't know enough about the royal family to know whether Meghan made his relationship with his own brother bad or not. how do we know? Maybe Harry doesn't like Prince, is his name Charles? See, I don't even know their names. Charles, because he didn't have to go to the military, but Harry did. There could be other reasons. Like, these are adult people that could have different problems with each other. Why are we blaming Meghan? Like, how do you know it's Meghan's fault? I don't know. I don't think you can really tie his relationship with his brother until Meghan came along. They might have had beef from the beginning, like sibling rivalry that exists. Hence with Meghan and Samantha, sibling rivalry. Let's see. She married into the royal family. That's fine. A good relationship with William until he came along and badmouthed her family and the royal family also badmouthed her. So should we also be suing the royal family for defamation? You can talk mess about people. It does not mean you have a legal action. I'm sorry. Deacon Fetto says, I think I'm too poor to comment on this family mess. Right. I'm going to comment on it because that's the channel. Kimmy David says, Bree, I'm pretty sure Samantha wasn't at their dad's side when he had the heart attack either. Yes. But maybe she called because she said Meghan hadn't called or reached out or whatever it was. So maybe Samantha called, but she was not sitting by the bedside, right? Keith Sunset for Life says, there was an entire UK court case that covers a lot of this. Meghan had to apologize for lying to the court. There is much more to this, and it will continue to come out. Tanya D says, whether she called him or not when he was sick, what exactly does that have to do with Samantha Markle being defamed? Right. Oh, she's saying that this is when Meghan started like publicly being mean to her. Like, so she did an interview before Meghan's wedding talking about how Meghan had not called the dad. And when Meghan saw that and all the articles saying that Samantha was slamming her or whatever they called it, talking about her, that's when Meghan started being publicly mean to Samantha. And I guess the start of the defamation after that. That's what I'm getting from it. Let me know if you guys think different. Ari says, Samantha Markle made that sound bad, but not reaching out isn't abnormal, especially if you're not close, right? I was with my sister in the hospital for a week, and I basically maintained a cone of silence so she could heal. That makes sense. Depending on what your family member wants. Sometimes you might not want someone that's not that close to you there, and maybe Meghan didn't feel that close to him. Kimmy says to Loretta, Harry had issues with his whole family way before Meghan, especially his brother. We don't know what goes on in these people's lives. All we can really look at is the paper. So I get you there, Kimmy. Vicky Beto says, okay, there is Prince William and Harry. Oh, his name is William. I call him Charles. Oh, and King Charles. Charles is the dad, huh? Whoever he is. I gave that man a whole wrong name. Y'all know what I meant, though. Let's see. Keys Sunset for Life says, Charles went into the military. There is so much more to this than you know about, though. I thought William didn't go. I called him Charles, but that's not who I meant. I meant William, the brother. I thought he did not have to go into the military, but I digress. I told you, I don't keep up with them. I'm just covering the lawsuit. Deacon Fetto says, I think they might be really upset because Archer could take the throne, and it is a much nonsensical mess. Right. Tiny D says, Harry has always been considered the wild child, so him marrying Meghan Markle is not out of his character. But everybody wants to blame the little American black white girl. I don't know what you want to call her. Cheryl C says, there's always much more to things than we know or even should know. But in the U.S., if that more isn't in the lawsuit, then I'm not considering it. Agree with Cheryl C. Agreed there. There's always going to be things. I don't have time to cover all this stuff. Every single piece of evidence that they put in. I have a normal life and we just do this for fun. So I'm sorry if anyone is getting offended by our coverage, but we enjoy it. Okay. If you don't enjoy it, you know, there's other channels. Ari says, isn't leave and cleave a big part of marriage? Right. It seems like people are mad that this man decided that his wife and family are more important than the gilded cage. Exactly. I don't think it's bad that they decided to upleave the royal family. Just because you're born into a family does not mean you have to stay there. Like I said earlier, leaving toxic relationships is a big thing right now. Like, you just don't have to accept your mother and your father and the uncle that harmed all the children during your childhood just because they're family. So I definitely get you there, Ari. If the wife, happy life, they gotta go, right? Deacon Beto says it's fine. I had to look them up again. Oh, for the for the princes and the kings. All right, I'm behind now. Let's see. Let's try to cover Mary. Mary Malaki says Harry and William's relationship got worse when William tried to tell Harry to cool things with Meghan. Harry said that was a major changing moment in their sibling relationship. How you gonna tell me not to like my girl? Like, right? I got you there, Mary. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, let's see. Natalie Romer says, hey, first time in this live chat. Well, hello, welcome in. We are happy to have you here. I hope that you're enjoying. It's getting a little feisty a little early on, but I really hope that you're enjoying. All right, we got the chat welcoming Natalie in. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the complaint, the third amended complaint. We're not letting this go yet. At this point, Meghan is a relentless foe to Samantha, according to Samantha. It was after the interview of Samantha that Meghan started her smear campaign. An ongoing deluge of distorted facts and stories, complete with fake quotes about and by Samantha. Okay. Meghan, she going in on Meghan. Meghan harbored resentment due to what she perceived to have been Samantha's intentional statement. Ma'am, you could not have thought that was a good thing to say. Maybe you slipped up and said it. And you didn't mean it like that. But to say that it was not intentional, you meant what you said. You probably just didn't mean for it to come off the way that it did. So don't say it wasn't an intentional statement. You wanted to call her out, and it backfired on you. And the follow-up by the press. She responded to the fake quotes publicly through various media outlets. Meghan has never reached out to Samantha directly to discuss these matters. It sounds like she already cut you off in 2017, so why would she reach out to you to try to discuss? And you didn't try to reach out to her to discuss before you went and accepted an interview and talked about her and her life, right? So if you didn't reach out to her, why would she reach out to you? And you're the big sister. Let's not forget, you're about 20 years older than her. Nor had Meghan taken any steps to correct the lies which had been continuously spread about Samantha. Just like Samantha, did you correct that she had never talked to the dad? Because this is the first time I'm seeing it here in this complaint, but also I don't follow you. So let me know. Let me know if you corrected it before this third amended complaint. Meghan knows and has known at all relevant times that her older sister Samantha suffers from muscular cirrhosis. I'm not gonna say that right. Cirrhosis, a debilitating disease exacerbated by stress. Nevertheless, she has not only made public statements vilifying and embarrassing Samantha, but she has encouraged hatred of Samantha through a bot network, which has caused great harm to Samantha. What is are we talking about Boozy's bot centennial? Because I know he's on Meghan Markle's side. Is that what they're talking about? Factual background. Let's go. We're gonna get into the allegations here. Factual background. In September 2020, Meghan and her now husband Prince Henry. Is his name Harry or his name is Harry, right? Not Henry. Signed a multi-year contract with Netflix for 130. They got paid that much for that interview. I have not watched that interview, y'all. Have y'all watched it? I have not watched that interview. But 135 million, was that just for that interview? That's a lot. That's a lot. In October, I guess it said for a multi-year contract. For what though? In October 2020, Meghan and her husband Prince Harry. Oh yeah, your proofreader didn't correct that. We have Prince Harry here and then Prince Henry here. You guys got to fix that one. Started their joint media, but I know they had to file it fast. Meghan and her husband, Prince Harry, started their joint media production project, Archwell Productions, a self-controlled media production company. We are getting into the Oprah primetime show. And remember, guys, for those of you that were here on the motion or the decision to dismiss the claims by the court, Oprah's primetime show are the only statements that were able to stay into the complaint this time. Her statements about the book that was written by a third party was dismissed with prejudice. She cannot bring those statements back up. So we have here the Oprah primetime show statement. So let's go ahead and get into it and see if she pleads it a little better to show us why it's actually defamation. What did Meghan actually say? You can't just say, oh, this inference. People are going to infer it this way because this is how people think, when it's just because you infer it that way. Okay, let's go on. On March 7, 2021, Meghan and Prince Harry appeared on an Oprah Winfrey primetime special. Approximately 50 million people worldwide viewed this program, hereinafter referred to as The Interview. During the interview, Meghan made four disparaging her... Oh, man. Are we at 4? Are we at 4? Weren't we at like 7 on the last one? Oh, I should have looked at it. I have not looked at it. I'm going to have to look at it. I'm pretty sure we were at like 7 or 8 statements on the last motion to dismiss. Or the decision, the order on the dismissal. 4. We're down to 4 statements. I want to say from the first complaint, we started off with like 15. We are down to 4 disparaging, hurtful, and false statements. But guess what she goes on to say? Insinuating that Samantha is a stranger, a liar, and a person who was only a deceptive, fame-seeking imposter, and I can't say that word, avaricious intentions towards Meghan. You played her. Like, that statement, you played her, and maybe she shouldn't have got that mad over one statement, but who's to say you didn't do more to make her mad, right? To publicly refer to one's own flesh and blood as a stranger and attack the veracity of Samantha's recently written and released book was more than giving her opinion. The false statements insinuated, and remember, she's saying more than opinion, because a lot of the statements that she is saying are defamation probably can't be rooted as or determined to be a fact. And so she's trying to persuade the court in saying, no, these are not opinions. These are actually false statements of fact. Okay. The false statement insinuation, that Samantha has concocted a fictitious story to reach some inappropriate reward from Meghan's fame. Okay, where's the statement? In her interview, the interviewer, we're not going to call her Oprah. Okay. The interviewer asked Meghan about Samantha and Samantha's book. In direct response to the question, Meghan stated this: I think it'd be very hard to tell all when you don't know me. Okay. When you talk about betrayal comes from someone that you have a relationship with, right? I don't feel comfortable talking about people that I really don't know. Y'all, how is this defamation? How is this defamation? I think that's still opinion. She doesn't feel like she really knows her. And she put those the language in there to kind of minimize things. I don't know. Okay, this is one of the statements. Okay, we'll give it to her. All right, let's go. Yet, Meghan's supposed discomfort did not stop her from making 3 additional false statements and damaging statements in the interview about Samantha. Meghan stated, I grew up as an only child, which as everyone who grew up around me knows, and I wish I had siblings. Although taken in an isolated statement, one can interpret the only child statement as a statement of how Meghan felt, because it is. Like, what? However, when put in context of the other statements about Samantha, this statement was a denial of that Samantha played a part in her life and her upbringing. Girl, okay, whatever. Let's go on. Let's get through this because this is really pissing me off because it's still the same allegations. I hope this gets dismissed again. As such, the statement impugned the character of Samantha by making Samantha appear to be a liar for profit and fame. This was especially true because Samantha had written a book which expressed the truth of their relationship. The statement by Meghan set up the oft-spoken and oft-implied false accusation that Samantha is a liar who is fabricating stories about Meghan so that Samantha could become rich and famous off of Meghan's marriage to Prince Harry. I don't agree with that, and this is why I don't agree with that. Just because Samantha wrote a story talking about her relationship with Meghan Markle, those stories could be true for Samantha because let's not forget, Samantha was an adult while Meghan Markle was a child. So even if Samantha came over and took her to school and did this and did that, Meghan is still considering herself to be growing up as an only child because children, my siblings, other than when we were in high school and all getting our licenses, did not pick me up and drop me off at kindergarten. They did not come home and help me do my homework. Like, that's not I guess it could be a sibling relationship, but it's more of an older sibling kind of relationship. That's not necessarily like I feel close to this person, let's go play Barbie dolls. You picked her up and dropped her off from school. That's still the only child because guess what? She's still the only child in the situation. Samantha is an adult. Samantha is a complete adult. I have people in my family and friend circle where maybe there is a large age gap between the child or between the younger sibling and the older sibling, but they grew up in the same house. Samantha was not living in the same house, to my knowledge, as Meghan. It was more of like, oh, let me go see my dad, and oh, also my little baby sister is there kind of situation. So for Samantha, yes, maybe you took her to school. Maybe you hung out with her. Maybe you helped her with her homework. But that's not going to make Meghan feel like, oh, we were close siblings or, oh, I grew up with siblings. Like, sure, legally, genetically, that is your sibling. Genetically, she's not an only child. But the way she grew up was as if she was an only child. That makes sense to me. Her story can very much be true for her, and Meghan's story can very much be true for Meghan. I don't think that's defamation. Okay. Sorry, I got passionate there. Using reductive logic. We don't want to use reductive logic. We want her to say something direct. I don't want to have to keep guessing what she meant by what she said. Okay. Using reductive logic, Meghan then degraded their relationship to physical form, only stating the last time I saw her must have been at least 18, 19 years ago. And before that, 10 years before that. This was a false statement or fact, not an opinion. Okay, which again implied that Samantha was a liar and fame seeker because it ignored the multitude of the phone conversations that Meghan and Samantha had enjoyed throughout the years. You just told us that you talked to her from time to time. Those phone calls went both ways, and Meghan often called Samantha for sisterly advice. Okay. Those calls happened periodically throughout the pre-Prince Harry lives. That's fine. I don't know why you think this. Sorry, I heard something. As a follow-up question about the relationship between Samantha and Meghan, the interviewer asked, so you all were close. So you all weren't close. You didn't grow up together. That question gave Meghan the opportunity to state a damaging and hurtful response. No. Again, Meghan attacked Samantha's. The response, no. No, we weren't close. We didn't grow up together. You're not even close in age. How is that hurtful? How old is this lady? 50 something? All right, let's go on. Again, Meghan attacks Samantha's veracity, calling into question on a world stage Samantha's own fond memories of the time spent together when they were both younger and their father, Thomas Markle, in his home where she was living at the time. Okay, so Samantha was living there at the, or was she saying that Meghan was living there? Which one? Were they both living there? Because she came over to see her little sister? Okay, let's go on. The final defamatory statement Meghan made during the interview was that one of the statements, y'all, one of the statements is Meghan saying no to whether they grew up together and they were close because Samantha was coming over to the house. So again, let's go on. The final defamatory statement Meghan made during the interview was that Samantha changed her surname back to Markle when Meghan started dating Prince Harry. That statement was false and harmful because it was not the time that Samantha began to use the name Markle. By making this false statement as to timing that Samantha started to use her maiden name, Meghan created an accusatory air of mendacity. They're using big words. Ignoring the multitude of reasons a person like Samantha may change their name, when and why, in fact, Samantha changed her name. When did she change her name? When did she change her name? I would like to see it. How close was it? Was it like 2012 when she changed her name? Or was it like 2015, 2016? When you were mad because she wasn't calling you as much? When did you change your name? And when did Meghan learn of you changing your name? Because just because you go through court documents and you go and change your name doesn't mean that everyone around you know that you changed your last name back. You have to tell people, right? And for all Meghan knew is that her name had been Samantha, whoever the heck she was married to, for however long. So who's to say that Meghan didn't learn the name during that time? Or maybe that's when Samantha started publicly using the name, i.e. when she wrote her book, publicly using the name versus just putting it on your ID. Those things come into play. Even if she changed it back legally in 2016, but she was not putting it out publicly as Markle, I could see why Meghan may have still thought her last name was something else. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Essie's a new member of the channel. Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. You get cool badges next to your name, cool little emojis you can use, and you are supporting the channel, keeping us going, keeping the spiciness up, and you will be welcome on the members live stream on Saturday. So thank you for that. All right, y'all, make sure to welcome Essie into the membership. All right, let's see. I'm way behind in chat. All right, let's see. The statement, she changed her last name back to Markle only when started dating Harry. And so I think that says enough. Again, it calls for people to speculate and insinuate, right? The interview inferred that Samantha was nefariously using Meghan's last name to cash in on her sister's fame. The statement was not true. It almost feels like it's true, but sure, whatever. And guess what? Her Samantha's testimony about why she changed her name back to Markle is going to be interpreted by a jury, and they're going to have to decide whether they believe her. Reading these 3 complaints that we have read, I think we've read only 2 on the channel. Reading these complaints that we have read, us as lay people, I know some of us are court of public opinion. We've been keeping up with it, right? But us as lay people, if you were on the jury, would you think that she changed her last name for Meghan's fame? Because even her attitude about how Meghan sees the relationship, I would believe the defense. She does seem like she changed her name in order to get this recognition. All of a sudden, she's getting interviews now that she has the same last name, right? Come on, I don't know. Up to y'all. Let me know whether you think that she changed her name to, get more recognition. It's coming off as that way to me. I could be wrong, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much. We have 66 likes and 57 live viewers. So if you have not hit the like button yet, please do. All right, I'm going to go on and jump into the chat a little bit. All right, I think Deacon Fatal was going to sleep. Well, have a good night. Loretta saying yes to Keys. Disney Mom says to me, you should talk to Nate. He did an interview with Samantha. Yeah, so I'm actually going to look at his interview here on live stream with you guys. And then we'll see. I'll see what his opinion is because I haven't watched it yet. It'll be a live reaction for me. Let's see. I don't know what they're talking about there. Amy Evans says, this is rich folks' problem. Right. It's rich folks' problem. Ain't no way I'm crying over my siblings saying that we're not close when I know we used to build forts and sleep in each other's rooms on Christmas Eve, waiting for the time to wake up presents, keep going to knock on our parents' doors to see if it's time to open presents. And even though it's only like 3 a.m., knowing that my dad is in there wrapping presents at the last minute, building bikes and all kinds of stuff. And my siblings said that we're not close. I'd be like, man, get out of here. I'm not going to sue them about it because we're actually close. If that's how I grew up as an only child, I'd be like, you lying. You're lying. You did not grow up as an only child, you weirdo. But I'm not going to sue them about it. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not litigious. I don't think I'm litigious. Okay. Ari says, I really want some psychologists to study the phenomenon one day. Strangers arguing that one lady really was close to her sister. Yes! Like, why does it matter? Because now you feel like people think that you're writing the book for clout, but are you not writing a book about Meghan Markle, your famous sister, for clout? Like, it's not my sister writing a book about me and trying to sell it to random people on the street. Nobody's gonna buy that. Maybe if she gets on YouTube and promotes it to the Beehive, maybe you guys will buy it, but the random people are not gonna buy it. You wrote that book about your famous sister. Like, you didn't write the book about your brother. You didn't write the book about your dad. You wrote the book about Meghan. Like, what are you talking about? Your close relationship with Meghan. Like, come on. Let me shut up. You can't tell me you didn't do it for some type of clout. I'm not buying that one. I'm not. When you write a book, you want to sell it, right? You write a book, you want to sell it. I don't know. Tanya D says to Disney Mom, we're supposed to watch the first part. Yes, we are going to be watching that. Fix says, I don't even know. Welcome into the live stream. Elise says, yeah, I could see it. I think it has to do with clout, especially after that little rant. Yeah, it definitely has to do with clout. You want to sell books. You want to sell books. Keys says she was put into the media by Meghan, though. She didn't want to be in the media. You should have watched Nate's video first. We're going to still watch Nate's video, but we also just read this where it said I was approached to do an interview. She could have said no. Everyone has free will. If she did not want to be in the media, she did not have to be in the media. And guess what? That interview started their enemyship, whatever you want to call it. That started it. So if she didn't want to be in the media, then she should have said no. You don't have to do interviews, especially if you're not invited to the wedding. Hello, Swanky says, reminding us how to join and become a member. Yes, of course, because we do have our members live stream coming on up. So yes, do join and become a member. Kath says, oh, haven't been here in a while. You look beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Nice to see you here again in the live stream. Keys Sunset for Life says, but it's not been played out in front of 50 million people. But it's not been played out in front of 50 million people. What are you referring to there? Because the 50 million people were what they said. That's who was watching the Oprah interview. Kat says, not that you weren't before. Oh, thank you. No, it's okay. I definitely understand. Jazzy G says, I agree. Why sue your sibling over petty stuff? Because her book's not selling. And she said that it also has interfered with her ability to make money because her book's not selling. And she's also saying that it interfered with her ability to make money because her job as a therapist, if I'm not mistaken. But what was her work like before this? I don't know. I'm just not buying it. Okay. Fig says to me, I feel like she's just paranoid. The Streisand effect. Nobody's really worried about you, right? Let's see. I don't know what you did. Oh, let me see. Cheryl says to MG Mustang, I get it, and I assume that's what you meant. If I didn't know you from previous streams, I would have thought you were talking about Bree, though. That's why I was taken aback a little. Oh, I missed whatever comment it was. I just saw my name in there, so I read it. All right, don't forget to finesse the algorithm. Yes, thank you for reminding us. Hella Swanky. Make sure if you have not already, please do hit the like button. I know there's some people in here probably hitting the dislike button because they don't like what I'm saying. All right, Elizabeth Carmichael says, wait, when's your sister Bree tell all coming out? Hey, I don't know. I'll ask them. Are y'all gonna write a tell all book about me? You gotta sell it to my community, because who else is gonna buy that? No one else is gonna buy that. Nobody cares about me enough other than the Bree Hive to buy a book. You know, when you write a book, you want people to buy it. And so this would be a great audience to sell my tell-all book to, if my sister were to write one. Helen Swinky says, period, she made a choice. Yes, she could have said no if she didn't want to be there. He says, yes, but do you let lies continue in the media worldwide? I don't know what lies were going on. I really don't know what lies were going on. From what she said, she did not say that she did that first initial interview to defend herself against lies. She said she went on there and said positive things about Meghan. Oh, but I also threw in that she didn't call our dad when he was sick. So if she went on there to, like, why is she not putting that in the complaint? I don't have time to go rewatch everything that she's ever said, everything that Meghan's ever said, everything that has ever happened. This is her complaint. This is her time to shine and say, hey, I had to get out there and do that interview because she was saying these things about me. I only said one little bad thing about her and everything else was positive. She could have said that. I don't know. I haven't watched the interview. We'll see. We'll see if I have time to do it. I'm sorry. I don't know what the lies were. Now that this has came out, which is what Samantha said, this is her complaint. Remember, this is her complaint. She said once she said that on the interview, that is when Samantha started. I mean, that's when Meghan started slandering her, in her opinion, right? So if something happened before that, why did she not put it in the complaint? So we might have our timelines mixed up, but I'm going off of the complaint, not off of memory from an interview that somebody did 20 years ago, right? Not 4 years ago, whatever you want to call it. I'm going off of her complaint. I got on that interview to clear up lies. No, she said she got on that interview to say nice things about her sister, even though she was not invited to the wedding. And she slipped up and she said one thing. And at that point on, Meghan became aggressive towards her. So let me know. Am I wrong? Am I reading this wrong? Natalie says, talking books. I write books. Yep, I want to sell them. And aforementioned sister decided to be a silly person, claiming that me publishing books is somehow me attention seeking. Go figure. Let's see. All right, books. I want to tell some. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically, right? I write books and I wrote a book about my famous sister. But I didn't do it so that I could sell books about my famous sister. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Why would you not want to sell your books? Key Sunset for Life says, your sister and family relationship not in front of 50 million people. Hey, we never know. Maybe one day people will watch, 50 million people will watch the Bree Hive. I don't know. Maybe I'll hit 50 million views one day. But the thing is, Samantha got up there and did an interview and also wrote a book. You don't think that? Do we not think, okay, famous people, someone is out there writing a book about them. The famous person goes onto an interview. Why would we think that the interviewer wouldn't ask her about that? If Samantha didn't want to be talked about, maybe she shouldn't have wrote a book and maybe she should not have done that interview. Because the question was about the book. I don't know her like that. She's writing a book. She's writing a book about me. I can't have an opinion. I don't know her like that. So if she didn't write the book, there will be nothing to talk about. Let's go. Kimmy says, Bree, I don't believe there's any proof that Meghan put Samantha in the media. I would agree with that. I think Samantha put herself there. Samantha inserted herself into the media. So did their dad. And that started around when Meghan started dating Harry. I would agree with that. But like I said, I haven't looked at every single thing that they have done. But just reading these complaints, I don't see where she put them into it. If anything, Samantha said that Meghan wasn't even talking to them. She was ignoring the fact that they existed. So I'm on the same page with you, Kimmy. Disney Mom says everyone has freedom of choice. Too many unanswered questions. We will never know the truth. We will never know because we're not there. I agree with you, Disney Mom. He says there is literally proof that Meghan did put her sister in the media. Where is it? Where is it? Let's talk about it. Like, give us some links so that we can see, and then maybe we can have a different opinion. But Samantha's not telling us, and this is her complaint. This is her complaint, and she's not clearing anything up. All right. Disney Mom, other than the fact that she accidentally said that Meghan didn't call or didn't contact her dad. That's the only thing that she cleared up. So please let me know. Disney Mom says, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Meghan start the dirty laundry by saying her father did absolutely nothing for her? That maybe, but does that bring Samantha into something? And that's her opinion. So yes, maybe they did get out there and try to defend themselves. I don't know, but I don't know what that has to do with Samantha. Maybe Samantha saw that and said, well, no, my dad did do stuff for her. I don't know. But guess what? Guess who didn't? Guess who didn't do an interview, even though they talked about her? Guess who did not do an interview, although they talked about her? Meghan Markle's mom. Meghan Markle's mom did not insert herself into the media. She had some self-control, because guess what? Meghan Markle's mom not trying to get famous off of Meghan Markle being Meghan Markle. They said stuff about her mom too. She didn't get out there and try to defend herself. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ari says, Meghan Markle putting her sister in the media makes no sense to me. Why would you bring up your dysfunctional family on purpose when you're trying to live a royal freaking perfect life, right? Samantha Markle is the only person who could benefit from being in the spotlight. Right. No one knew who Samantha Markle was at first. What benefit would Meghan Markle have bringing up Samantha prior to her writing a book? Like, why did you write the book? Like, I feel like a lot of this could have been avoided if she didn't freaking write the book. All the support her dad gave her, and he paid for her college. Yes, that's fine. Disney says, didn't Samantha start defending her father in the media, then go into other details? That's the only thing that I can assume. Like I said, the thing is, I think from more of a realistic point of view, because I say this all the time just with regular people. You can think that you are the best parent in the world. You can think you're the best parent in the world. Your kid is still going to have some kind of complaint about you. They are still going to have some type of complaint about you. So maybe he felt like he did everything in the world for her because he paid for stuff for her. But maybe she felt like, oh, he wasn't there enough for me physically, emotionally, things like that. No matter what you do, your kid is always going to have their own opinion of you. So if she said that he didn't do nothing for her, they came out in the media and started defending themselves. Guess who didn't? Her mama. Her mama didn't come back and start defending herself. So you place yourself in the media. People say stuff. Shoot, do we listen to rap music? Do y'all listen to rap music? When all these people get on there and talk about I came from nothing for the street, we didn't have no food, we didn't have no cereal. You don't hear that mama coming on here and talk about, boy, yes, you did have some cereal. And we had toast and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You don't see, you don't have to come out there and defend yourself. I have never seen a rapper's mama come out and be like, hey, we did have food because guess what? I had food stamps, or we did have food. Boy, stop lying. You was not on the street. You was not sleeping on the floor. Drake's mom has not come out and say you did not start from the bottom. Now you here. Okay? Because guess what? Those kids and they rap lyrics and they spokes, they have an opinion of how they grew up. They do. But you don't see the rapper mamas coming out and saying no. No, that's not what happened. Nathalie says, if you write books, are Are a YouTube creator, singer, musician, actor, etc. You choose to be in the public eye. Exactly. A royal person like Harry never chose it. He had to do it because his family's origin. He was born into it, right? He was born into it. I agree with that. Natalie says, and Meghan Markle chose to join Harry's family, so chose the criteria that come with being a part of the royal family. If she doesn't like it, then give Harry a divorce. I don't know if we're talking about Meghan Markle complaining. We're more talking about the defamation suit between her and her sister. And I would say if her sister doesn't like being in the limelight, she shouldn't have wrote a book and she shouldn't have done an interview. She could have kept quiet like Meghan Markle's mom. Okay. Ari agrees with Natalie and says, very true. And he had to live through a public eye, basically hounding his mother to death, right? That is traumatic. That is traumatic. Harper Polo says, Meghan dad won the lottery and paid for classes for her. That is nice of him to do. Hello Snooki says, classy. Key Sunset for Life says, Meghan did an interview with Finding Freedom and People magazine on her family. Wasn't the Finding Freedom the stuff that got dismissed? I can't remember. I think those got dismissed. And the reason why it was dismissed because it was said to not have actually come from Meghan. I think that's the one that got dismissed, but don't quote me on that. Disney Mom says Meghan Markle's mom waited for Netflix when she was invited onto the show. Right? When she was invited. Let's see. Loretta says to Ari, her dad was her primary caregiver her whole life. She didn't become close to her mom until the engagement to Harry, and that's fine. You get to choose who you like. I don't know. I still don't think it's defamation. Kimmy Davis says, someone give me a clip where Meghan said her father never did anything for her ever. I don't believe one exists. Hey, I haven't seen it either. I just see people saying that she said it. Chris says, hey, Bree and everyone. Hello. Welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you here. Another member of the channel. Cheryl C says, to me, I agree 100 with that. These are all adult family members. It sounds like most of this is just differing opinions of the past. Right. Doesn't seem like defamation to me, though. Exactly. To me, it sounds like opinions. For her to say that Meghan is basically inferring that she is trying to get some type of hype off of her, maybe she is inferring that, but is that not what you're doing? Why did you not write a book about Oprah? Okay. Why did you not write a book about Drake? You wrote a book about your famous sister because you wanted people to read your book about your famous sister. And you may have had a close relationship to her. You may have treated her like she was your daughter too. But she was a kid, and maybe she doesn't remember that. She just remembers some older sibling being annoying. I don't know. I'm just making excuses. Hello, Swanky says true. Let's see. Key Sunset, always with the opposition opinions, which is cool. Says yes, Meghan's mom spoke out in Netflix. She hasn't been silent. Doria wasn't around Meghan for literally 10 years almost. She was raised by her dad and his family. Did her mom get on there and say that she raised her whole life and that they have a close relationship? Who knows? Guess what? I don't live with these people. Fig says paying for things is the bare minimum. Right? As I said, maybe he didn't do certain other things for her. Jazzy G is laughing. Keith said clapping. Cheryl says, LOL, most parents think they are great parents and most children have some resentment of those very same parents. Our experience of events often differ. I agree with that. That was the point I was making earlier. Reem Ma says, started from the middle. Started from the middle class. Now I'm here. Ari says, yes, Bree, exactly. There are plenty of parents who turn around and say, well, I put a roof over your head and fed you. That's your job. LOL. That doesn't mean they were emotionally supportive. Agree. Tiny says, Feisty Bree is my favorite. It is out. It is out. We are here. I'm telling you, we're getting some dislikes on this stream, but that's okay with me. Fig says, laughing my A off. Now I'm waiting for a mom's reply distress. Right. The moms need to come out and address these issues. Robert Hines says, yeah, I can't see how any of this reaches the legal definition of defamation. More like a very public family squabble. I am right there with you, Robert Hines. I am right there with you. Kimmy says, Keys, laughing my A off, give me proof that she didn't see her mom for 10 years and that she was raised entirely by her father, please. And what I would say as a divorce attorney, sometimes one parent has custody, sometimes another parent has custody. I don't think that can really determine. Sometimes the parent that is worse and emotionally abusive is the one with custody and no one just knows about it because CPS is not doing something about it. Or maybe the mom needed to do something else. There are a lot of reasons why certain parents have custody. Does not necessarily mean that they are the best parent. Does not necessarily mean that she didn't talk to her. Just because her dad was the one putting a roof over the head doesn't mean that that was, the parent that should have had custody. I think that's important to point out as well. So Kimmy Davis is going off. Tiny D says, me too, the things they do. Bree had the idea first. Yeah, to do them diss tracks. I can't put my knitting down. You said don't read it, but I'm reading it anyway. Disney Mom says, yes, there's no such thing as a perfect parent, but there is such thing as there's no such thing as perfect child either. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. The dad could also have complaints about Meghan, just like Samantha has complaints about Meghan not talking to her once she got fame. You hear it all the time. We hear it. I'm not even in the complaint anymore. I said this was not going to be a long stream, and now the chat is spicy. The chat is spicy, like Ari said. The parents may have a problem with her too. Same thing that Samantha has a problem with Meghan for saying that she didn't know her like that, and Meghan has a problem with Samantha saying she did know her like that. It's all opinion. It's all opinion based. I'm sorry. I can't get behind it. Is it mean? Are they saying mean things about each other? Whose fault is it? I don't know. It just sounds like a bunch of adults that are a lot older than me, first of all, arguing in the public eye to see who knows each other the best. And what are you going to win from that? Does she want the defamation case for her to win, and then now people are going to buy her book about Meghan? Like, what is the end goal here? What is the end goal here? Sounds petty. Let's see. Disney Mom also says, there are, however, self-involved narcissistic individuals out there. That is very true as well. All right, y'all are having a combo. Cheryl C says, why do we think Harry can't think for himself? A grown man. If he is happy with things, who are we to decide he isn't? I am so confused by this, but that has nothing to do with the lawsuit we are discussing. It's just getting feisty around here. Disney Mom says to me, Meghan Markle's mom had the freedom of choice to say no to Netflix. Yes, she did. She did. And that's the same interview that Meghan and Harry did as well. Is that what you're referring to? She did have the freedom, but she's also now filing a defamation lawsuit against Meghan for whatever Meghan might have said about her. And how do we even know? Where is the statements coming from that the dad was the primary caregiver? Did Meghan say that? Did Samantha say that? Did Doria say it? Did Thomas say it? Who said that? So should we also be filing defamation suits against those people too? Should Samantha be filing a defamation suit against her dad for some things that he said? No, but we're filing one against Meghan because Meghan's famous and we want our book to sell. All right, I'm behind in chat, but let me see if I can get a couple more here. Reen Ma says, a lot of this seems like the usual criticism that people who set boundaries or go no contact with parents or other family members. Agreed. That's what I was looking for. I said cutting off toxic family members and friends. Reen Ma got it. That setting boundaries and going no contact, and now we're up in a huffy about it, filing lawsuits and things like that. Let me skip down. Nathalie says, I had squabbles with my sister and mother who treated me as the bad person, so I chose to just walk away and live a life with them, without them in it, I think. Maybe Samantha needs to do the same regarding Meghan Markle. Agreed. Hello Swanky says, that's what Meghan Markle moms reminds me of. She's busy and unbothered, not taking bait, and I respect that. And I don't think she got on there and said nothing crazy. I haven't watched it, but I feel like it would have been all over the place if she did. Let's see here. Let's get back into the complaint because y'all got me feisty. I got off track. Let me see. We are at 74 likes, guys. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do. It definitely helps out the stream. We are almost at our goal. We got 26 more likes to go. Let's see. In fact, Samantha legally changed her name back to Markle. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who is telling me? Who is telling me that she didn't change it at the same time as Harry? Oh, when did she write this book? Woo! When did she write this book? Samantha Markle. Oh, I don't want to show y'all everything. Let me go back. Samantha Markle. I think your y'all argument just got pounded. Samantha Markle's book release date. Her book was released in January 2010. What is it? Who is she titled under that? Where is her book? Where is her book? What's her book called? Who? Is this her book? Or is this a fake? It says Samantha Markle, The Diary of a Princess Pushy's Sister. Or is that somebody else writing a book about her? What is Samantha Markle's book called? Oh, no. The Diary of a Princess Pushy's Sister, Part 1 by Samantha. Oh, y'all, let me come on back. Let me come on back to the complaint because who was in my chat? Who was in my chat saying she didn't change it around the same time she started dating Harry? That may be true. She may not have legally changed her name around the same time she dated Harry because, let's get into it. In fact, Samantha legally changed her name back to Markle in July of 2022, 5 years after she started dating Harry and after her relationship with Meghan fell apart. Of greater significance, Samantha had used her family name Markle interchangeably all her life. Okay, so she didn't change it at the same time that she started dating Harry. But what she did use on her book back from 2021 was the name Samantha Markle, even though her name was not legally changed back to Markle. So who's to say that she did not start using her name publicly as Markle, even though it was not legally Markle around the time that she started dating Harry? Because guess what? Her own self says that she didn't even change it into 2022 when she brought this freaking lawsuit. So we can have a Markle versus Markle, right? Okay. And then, is this her book? Her book is literally about Meghan Markle, but she didn't write the book. She didn't change her name. Let me see. Let's go back. If this is the book, her name is huge. The last name Markle is huge so that she can associate to let people know. If this is her cover, I'm going to say this is her cover. Maybe I'm wrong. The Markle is bigger than all the other print. She wants it to be associated with Meghan Markle. So no, nobody can convince me at this point. I don't care what y'all saying. I don't care what you talking about her interview with Nate and all. She did. I don't care what y'all saying. Okay. For those of y'all don't like what I'm saying and you feel like her feelings are hurt and we should feel bad for her, I don't. Jose says, I've been multitasking, but thank you to who or whatever got Bree this feisty tonight. Meghan Markle and Samantha Markle. Disney Mom says, it is time they all grow up and go their own way. Live their lives free and happy. I completely agree with you, but not all the way because it gives us content for YouTube. But other than that, yes, they do need to be adults. These people are way older than me and I don't have this kind of drama. But I'm also not famous, so who knows? Pig says, this new moon has everyone a little feisty tonight. Is it the new moon? Alice Monkey says, sadly, I have no idea what that woman's book is called. Mary Markle says, that is the title, Brie. Wow, what a title. It's not about Meghan at all right. Thank you, Mary. Jazzy G says, that's the name. Okay, everyone confirming it. Kimmy Davis says, I think that is the book. Okay, still a book about Meghan, but she's not trying to use Meghan for clout. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? And her name herself, she admitted in her complaint that her name was not even Markle at the time that she released this book in 2021. So how are you not using the last name Markle for clout? How are you not using it for clout? And they're writing a book about the pushy princess. Come on. Yeah. I don't know, y'all. What she put in the Kool-Aid for the people that is defending her? What did she put in there? Disney mom. Oh, I'm gonna watch the interview and see if I feel sorry for her. But no, not after reading her complaints. She's the one in charge of these complaints. They should have better facts. Awful title, says Disney mom, right? I was like, it says, we passed feisty tonight. We way past. Yeah, I was not planning on yelling and screaming tonight. And I was only planning on streaming for like an hour. We're not even halfway through this thing. Tiny says, it really is that simple to Disney mom. Yes. Nathalie says, I watch enough Glenn Krishner. And he says, and I'm paraphrasing, that something written in a book that's not true can be defamatory as well. If I remember what he said correctly. Yes. So defamation, libel, if it's in writing in a book and it's false, but it also has to meet other elements, like it actually was, well, it will be published because it's in a book, and that you basically lost something for someone, say it damaged your reputation. So Samantha saying that she had a close relationship with Meghan would not necessarily be defamatory. That, first of all, to be defamatory, it has to be a fact. There is no way that we can measure the closeness of a sibling bond. There's no way. I told you guys earlier that me and my siblings used to sleep in each other's room. We used to have slumber parties on Christmas Eve, waiting up all night to get ready to open our presents. Someone will hear that and say, oh, they were close. They had a tradition. They were close. But on the background, it could be, well, our parents forced us to go into one room and we had to hang out with each other. And we were just excited for our own individual presents, but we weren't just there hanging out as close siblings. So those type of things, you're not going to be able to prove them as fact. You're not. It's going to be her versus her. And for us to determine whether that means they're close, like I said, her relationship as a 20-year-old sister and Meghan's relationship as a 5-year-old sister, she might have just saw her as a babysitter, not someone that she's close to. So, yes, writing something in a book, if it's false and it's a fact and it harms your reputation, it could be considered defamatory. It's called libel. Hello Sonky says, wait, I thought the title was a fan being messy. I didn't think that was actually the title of the book. Well, everyone's confirming it. I don't know. That's what first popped up on Bing search, so I don't know. Disney mom says to Tanya, I could have thought of something with a little more class, and I'm just a farm mom. Right? Alice Vicky says, this lawsuit is Sam being messy and spiteful. Let's grow up. They got to grow up. They have to grow up. Disney mom says, I don't feel sorry for any of them, right? I don't feel sorry for Meghan. I don't feel sorry for Samantha Markle, but I just don't think that Samantha has a claim. She just doesn't have a claim, right? Let's see. The Tall Poppy Lifestyle. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Saying, why is that Black women cannot be given credit for rearing a wonderful daughter? Her dad was not her primary caregiver. They shared custody with her mom serving as the primary caregiver. And we will never know. It's going to be a he said, she said until we can get the court documents. Who had custody? Meghan. Who had custody? And the only person we can really believe, because I get cases all the time. Where they tell me they got 50-50 custody, and then I break down the schedule, and they don't have 50-50 custody. Okay? So the parents can say they have 50-50. The parent can say I was the primary because they took them on a longer vacation for the year. We don't know. Tall Poppy. I don't know. Tall Poppy Lifestyle. I don't know. But some people in the chat are saying the dad was the primary caregiver. Some people are in chat are saying that the mom was. I don't know. I would probably say it was somewhere in the middle. They switched off a couple times, right? But I definitely agree with you. MG Mustang says, what is the standard of defamation in the UK as opposed to US? I don't know. Let's see. Perfect situation. Cheryl C says, heck, every day I could give you a different description of my relationship with my own sisters, right? Family relationships are not simple or easy to define, and it's based on your feelings. Like, I don't know. I might think that my sister is doing something annoying, but she might think that she's being super helpful, right? It's hard to gauge like what is close. I would consider myself to be close to my siblings. I would think that my siblings will also consider themselves to be close to me, but maybe they think I'm annoying. They don't talk to me like that. I don't know. Robert Hines says, this was a fun Bree Hive tonight, especially Feisty Bree, but I'm off to bed, folks. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful night. Let me try to get through the case because I am very sidetracked today. Very sidetracked. All right. She changed her name in 2022, 5 years after. Okay. But you just told us that you use the name interchangeably, and you probably started using it more prominently around the time she started dating Harry. So her changing her names, whoever made that argument earlier, I don't want to call out the wrong person. It's not a valid argument in my eyes. We can agree to disagree. That is not a valid argument in my eyes. Sorry, not sorry. Because she said, even though it was not legally changed, she used it interchangeably, and presumably. Can I talk while I'm trying to make my points? Presumably, she started using it more prominently around the time that she started dating Harry. So, and that's proven by the fact that her name on her book is Samantha Markle, although her name was not legally changed to Samantha Markle at the time. And it's really easy. Maybe I don't know where she's from, but it's very easy to change your name. It should take you only like 2 months. So, yes. Let's go. It is of importance that rather than interpreting each word said, here we go, or each false set of words, it is important to look at the whole effect of all that was said in an interview altogether. According to Meghan, she was betrayed by Samantha, who Meghan claimed that she really did not know. No, she said that she cannot say she was betrayed because she doesn't really know. That's a misstatement of your own facts up above. She did not say that. She said that she could not say she was betrayed because she didn't know her like that. Okay, I digress. Let's go on. Meghan always wanted a brother or a sister, and the implication, if not specific statement, was that Samantha was someone who Meghan did not know well enough to comment. You just contradicted yourself. The context of these statements by Meghan was that Samantha was falsely portraying that she was Meghan's sister. No! What? When did she say that she wasn't your sister? I think she's overthinking it. Like she said, she has her diagnosis that makes her overly stressed. I think that's what's happening here. Because she did not say that. She did not say she's falsely pretending. She's just saying she's not close with her. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Where was I at? Falsely portraying that she was Meghan's sister. Also that Samantha could gain wealth and fame, pretending that she was Meghan's true sister. Nowhere in there did she say that. She just said she wasn't close to her, and that you didn't grow up together, not that she was not your sister. Samantha was being impliedly accused of being a charlatan. Oh my gosh. Meghan used her station and access to popular platforms to direct her hurtful, malicious, and untrue words towards tens of millions of people worldwide. None of Meghan's above statements were true, nor were they mere opinion of an individual. Yes, they were. Who typed this? Comma, then a capital letter, but that's all right. They were statements used as a weapon to discredit and injure the reputation and pecuniary interest of Samantha. They're not buying my book because Meghan said she didn't even know me like that, so now people think I'm lying. Oh. Oh, and she brings in the Netflix documentary now. That one was not mentioned in the other one, but hey, we got more content. The statement made in the interview were injurious and defamatory and harmed and continue to harm Samantha because they're not buying my book emotionally, physically, and monetarily, and have caused hatred and threats against Samantha. Boo freaking who? Oh my gosh. All right, let's go on. Let's see what they said on Netflix. On December 8, 2022, Meghan still was talking mess. Let's go on. Netflix aired the first part of a 6-part miniseries entitled Harry and Meghan, hereinafter referred to as the series, on the streaming platform. The series was a joint effort between Meghan's production company, Archwell Production, and Blackwell and Ruth. The series was filmed, edited, and produced for Netflix under the direction of Meghan and Prince Harry. According to CBS News, just 6 days after its release, the series had received 28 million views by December 14, 2022. The series became the most watched subscription TV show of the year. The series contains 6 episodes, and each episode has a runtime of almost 54 minutes, and it tells a collection of interviews with Meghan, Prince Harry, and a very select handpicked group of friends, family, and interested and participatory parties. During the 323 minutes of running time, the only members of Meghan's entire family that were interviewed are Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, and Meghan's niece, Samantha Markle, Samantha's daughter, Ashley Hale, who allegedly doesn't like her either. Why would she invite you onto her show when you done told everybody that she didn't call her dad when he was sick? Like, why would she invite you there? It's her series. You're gonna say something negative. Meghan used the series as a platform to publish, promulgate, and distribute a worldwide level of malicious, hurtful, and damaging lies, many of which were directed at Samantha. The 6-part mini docuseries mentioned Samantha either directly or indirectly in 4 of the 6 episodes. In the series, there are numerous isolated statements made about Samantha, as this series was produced and edited by Archwell Production. All the statements were ultimately approved and published by Meghan. Didn't you just get dismissed for something like this? Oh, I guess she's saying, since she was the owner, then it shouldn't get dismissed like the book state or the article statements. Okay, whatever. Let's see where you go with this. Basically saying Meghan published the statements because she's the owner of the production company. Like, Meghan Markle is sitting there editing these videos, right? The series is disparaging and hurtful on its own, and the statements, when taken individually or collectively, weave a narrative of lies that Meghan hides behind an attempt to bolster her own false rag to riches. While see, this is what I was talking about. The rappers' moms coming out and saying, hey, you did have food on the table. You are not rags to riches. You're riches to riches, middle to riches, whatever you want to call it, but you're not rags to riches. While actually discrediting her sister and calling her a liar and fame seeker. And far worse, which fame seeker is, is there a way to prove that someone's a fame seeker? I don't know if you can prove that as a fact. It also sounds like an opinion to me. And far worse, going so far as to publish statements which imply or state that Samantha is a racist. Sorry, Samantha. The defamatory statements made in the series, episode 2 through 5, are restated below. The statements are either defamatory on their own or taken together create an implication that Samantha is a liar and agent provocateur, the one who is fabricating stories and a racist. I think she wants the judge to feel bad for her. The statements. Meghan said, I was with my mom during the week and with my dad on the weekends. Oh, so Meghan is saying that dad was not the primary caregiver. Oh, and you know what else? You know what else may make someone say they're a primary caregiver? Is if they're paying child support. If they're paying child support, they're going to say, I take care of that child because I have to pay money. Usually when you're a weekend dad, you have to pay child support. So did she live with him? Questions that need answers. Meghan is saying no. And my dad lived alone. He had 2 adult children. Again, guys, probably why she doesn't feel close to Samantha. She was an adult who had moved out of his house. In reality, Meghan lived with her father full time and visited her mother on some weekends. How are you going to tell her where she was at? How? You didn't even live there. What? How are you going to tell? And even if that is a lie, it's still not defamatory. It's still not defamatory. Like, she can say she lived wherever the heck she wanted. What does that have to do with you? Oh my gosh. She lived with her father full time and visited her mother on some weekends. And also, let's not forget, Meghan said she hadn't seen her in a while. So maybe at one point she was living with her dad for some time, but maybe not her entire childhood. That's what this is Samantha sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. When Meghan was in junior high school, Samantha lived on the property and was always home when Meghan came home from school. Always, you can't say always. Often she drove Meghan to school and accompanied her father when her father drove. After school, because you were in the car, that's establishing your close relationship. Let's go on. After school, Samantha and Thomas Markle would help her with her homework and took Meghan shopping on weekends. Every weekend, thought she spent with her mom. Meghan said, "You're telling people you raised me." Meghan said this herself, and it is not true. Samantha never suggested she raised Meghan. Yes, she did. He said, "Oh, I was the one taking her to school. I was the one helping her with her homework." Now you're saying that her and your dad and you were helping her. Your story is changing. These false statements are incendiary to Meghan's fans who have harassed and threatened Samantha due to these statements published by Meghan. Meghan said, "I don't remember seeing her when I was a kid at my dad's house. If and when they would come around. In reality, Meghan was close to Samantha while she lived in her father's home, and there is no way that she could have forgotten it, considering she continues to have memories of other issues at the time." What? How are you gonna... Can we get a time frame that we're talking about? Like, are we talking about kindergarten? Are we talking about high school? How are you gonna tell her she can't forget seeing you? How are you gonna tell her that she can't forget having memories with you because she remembers other stuff? Y'all, I can't. How are you deciding these things for her? There's no way she couldn't have forgotten me. She better have remembered me. Christopher Boozy, blocked by Boozy, who worked for Bot Sentinel and was retained by Meghan for a series and in his employ by Meghan in the course of and scope of his retention, he said, and Meghan published, "So this is not your everyday trolling. It's insane. And it was done by people who were just not the typical quote unquote trolls. These are housewives. These are middle-aged." This is in the writing, y'all. "These are middle-aged Caucasian women creating just constant attacks from go back to America to basically, why don't you die?" Okay. Samantha Markle was part of the group that was putting out a lot of this information. How can the half-sister of Meghan be part of a hate group? Perhaps the most troubling part of this is the number of British journalists interacting with and amplifying the hate and lies. For the main hate accounts, their primary motive is monetizing the stuff, but the secondary accounts is all about hatred. It's about you see race. These are weird. I don't know how we're implying these are about her. So then there would be derogatory terms where they would use the N-word on tweets. Prince Harry said, "I think for people to really understand, when you plant a seed, it is so hateful what it can grow into." I don't know. And like I said, I'm not a civil attorney. I'm not a defamation attorney. I don't know if just because she's the owner of the production company, it will count as her publishing it. She can't really control what people say. And I understand that you can kind of control what you put into the production, but I don't think you can be liable for what people say. Kind of like when people leave comments on your video. YouTube is not liable. I'm not liable for what people comment on my video. So I don't know if she really has a strong claim here, but I would have to look more into the law to see if that's how things work. But I'm pretty confident that's not how things work, just because she's the owner of the company. And just because, and the thing is, she's also producing it with another company who maybe also made some decisions. So I don't know if she can take Prince Harry's and Christopher Boozy and hold them liable. Hold Meghan liable for what they said. To Prince Harry's comments alluding to the press and alluding to the press and Samantha, Meghan said, "You're making people want to kill me. It's not just a tabloid. It's not just some story. You're making me scared." Christopher Boozy added, and Meghan published, Samantha had her account suspended. And then we actually sent Twitter a list because she had like 11 additional accounts. And yeah, we were baffled by this. Again, I don't know where we're getting the defamation here. In truth, Samantha originally only had one original Twitter account, and she was not part of the spreading of alleged misinformation. She was, however, the victim of hacking. Okay. Real convenient. And individuals created imposter accounts. As a result of the hacking and imposter accounts, she was forced to make her own other accounts when trolls of Meghan literally took over her one original account. So you have multiple accounts. Okay. The suspension of her account was impliedly due to statements about Meghan. In reality, was a short freeze because Samantha's endorsement of ivermectin. Others unknown and unbeknownst to Samantha had created other accounts in Samantha's name. She was not suspended because of the alleged misinformation that was spread about Meghan and attributed to Samantha's name and account. The implication of the statement said in a series produced and edited by Meghan through her own words and handpicked interviewees were incredibly damaging and dangerous. In this regard, the series falsely accused Samantha to be a member of a hate group, which was about race and even used the N-word. The statement demonized Samantha. The series is porta-vox the Meghan used to reach millions of people, many of whom use the series to cause the formation of their negative opinions of Samantha and begin their own hate-filled smear campaigns, which actually rose to the level of death threats against Samantha. Meghan and the series intentionally and purposely denied the truth that a relationship existed between Samantha and Meghan, going so far as to deny the existence of the relationship between Samantha and Meghan since they were younger, living in the same home under their father's roof or adjacent to it. So you weren't in the house. You said you weren't in the house. The series undermined Samantha. It both directly stated and implied that everything Samantha was saying or had said was a lie by a stranger attempting to take an unfair and dishonest effort to capitalize on Meghan's fame and to do so by vaulting false narrative to the public that Samantha and Meghan was Meghan's half-sister and that they were close prior to Meghan dating Harry. That is what she's arguing. She is saying that they were close before she started dating Harry. I don't know. I'm a little confused about this section, to tell y'all the truth. Meghan continues to participate in and perpetuate the lies around her family and upbringing. Who cares? If she wants to be a rags to riches, that doesn't mean it's defamation. Just because your book is not selling. Just because your book is not selling because she says she don't know y'all folks. That's, you know what this reminds me of? Like when you go to a family reunion and some old auntie or a family friend comes up to you and be like, "Oh, do you remember me? I used to babysit you when you were a baby. Do you remember me?" And you're like, "No, why would I remember you? I was a baby." That is what this reminds me of. She knows we were close. I helped her with her homework. Like, what? No. I don't remember day-to-day life as a 5-year-old. Who does? Let's see. He perpetuate lies about the upbringing. She did not. Instead, Meghan continues the hurtful lies being told about her sister, Samantha, lies that have defamed Samantha, and the negative fallout that was therefrom occurred. Harm was caused. Meghan's I can't say that word, provocations were greatly injurious to Samantha because it caused public reaction. Samantha lives in a small, here we go with her small town, a small Florida city, Lakeland, where she is well known. Moreover, she is known because she is the sister of Meghan, who enjoys great fame, wealth, and prestige. Meghan is a celebrity with a huge fan base, which includes extremists. When Meghan repeated over and over the same false narrative of not knowing her sister and the two of them not being close, she instilled anger in her fan base against Samantha by a significant part of the population of Lakeland. Suddenly, with Meghan's lies, emotionally connected fans turned against Samantha, believing she was an imposter who was distant from her younger sister. Okay? Samantha, they didn't want to buy your book. Okay? Samantha was made out to be a greedy and dishonest opportunist, says the woman writing a book about her pushy princess sister. Okay. Opportunist when people believed that she had no relationship with her sister and that Samantha was attempting to cash in on her sister's success. You were. You cannot convince me that you were. Why didn't you write a book about your dad? The amazing father that raised the princess that we know today. Why didn't you write that book? Because nobody would have bought it. And now nobody's buying this one. So now you're mad? What's your point? All of the false remarks in the Oprah Winfrey interview and Netflix series around Samantha were false. Whether said directly by Meghan or others, you can't hold her liable for what others are saying, though. Stated with full knowledge that the statements she was saying were false, all the statements by Meghan were said with malice in that she knew that they were false, and she also knew that they would cause harm to her older sister, Samantha, her half-sister. Moreover, the publication of the defamatory statements in this case was on a worldwide scale by a celebrity, Meghan. The virtue of Samantha's relation to her half-sister, the public took an interest in Samantha. Samantha published a book where she was trying to capitalize off of Meghan. Okay. The false and malicious statements above caused substantial, irreparable prejudice, injury, and harm to Samantha's reputation to a substantial, sizable, and appreciable part of Samantha's community, and caused her great anxiety and emotional distress. Move. As a direct result of Meghan's false and defamatory statements and those which were not hers, but which she published by her, Samantha received hateful emails and messages on a regular basis, and her reputation has been so damaged that she has been unable to work in her profession as a mental health counselor. When was the last time you worked as a mental health counselor? The dangerousness of the false narrative can be seen in the fact that Samantha sought and obtained an injunction for protection against stalking in Polk County, Florida, against one of Meghan's overzealous fans. I'm sorry that happened to her. All predicate acts which were required to have been done, or required, or the requirement has been waived. Defamation. All right, we're not going to go through all of the causes of action, but look, we have defamation. We have defamation by implication. I guess that's for when she's saying stuff that you can infer. And then demanded for a jury. And the thing of her trying to hold people liable hold her liable because she was a producer on the show. There were other producers on the show, and she can't prove that these people were agents of her to say those things, and it means that it's actually coming from her. So I don't think that she's going to be able to prove like Harry's and Chris Boozy's statements are her statements just because she was a producer on the show. I'm not buying that. Y'all, this stream kind of took me a long time. His first part, Nate's first part on this case is already 24 minutes. I'll probably watch it on 1.5 speed. So let me know if y'all think it is too fast. I did not mean to do that. Let me know if y'all think it is too fast. But we'll watch it. Let me jump into some comments real quick, and then we'll jump into the interview to see if she makes me feel sorry for her. I just don't. Y'all, we are at 82 likes and there's 61 people watching live, and we were pushing up to the 70 mark. So if you have not hit the like button already, please do help out the stream. We are only 18 likes away from our goal for the stream. Please do hit the like button. It helps us out, and we have goals. We have goals we want to reach. All right. Let's see. Hello Sanky says, basically, story of my life around my extended fam. I don't know them people. You can make that decision. Yes. Hello, Swanky cracking up. Ari says, not Lakeland being the Meghan Markle fan club headquarters. Right. Maybe they didn't like you before Meghan Markle, right? Natalie says, by the way, the opening scene in the documentary, my partner, who only saw 5 minutes of it, had no interest to see it. Noticed an inconsistency in how the traffic looked when they were supposedly being chased. I haven't watched it. I don't care enough about it, but that is kind of funny. As he says, this lawsuit is so petty. It's ridiculous. Like, this is a 50-something-year-old woman crying because her sister doesn't think that she's as close to her as she believes she is to her. Y'all are having a conversation. Yes, so petty. Leonard Amber says, no one knew who Samantha was until she started suing Meghan. Ta-da! So they wasn't buying the books anyway? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Leonard Amber? They wasn't go buy the book regardless. Because no one knew who she was. Oh my gosh. Streisand effect, right? Streisand effect. Am I saying that right? Let me see. What do I want to do? I want to do Nate's stream so I can share the audio. All right. Yep. Hello, so you're saying the Streisand effect. Exactly. Reen Ma says, just do what the talking side extended family does when people stop talking to them. Just keep talking mess to the few people left who care. No, she said I'm gonna talk mess to the world. She's not putting herself in public light. She's not doing it, right? Lana Ember says, yeah, I think that's the term. Streisand effect. Yes. Ari says, woo, here we go. Yes. Heidi, welcome back. Just in time for the interview. Yes. Let me know if you guys have watched this interview. I'm going to be stopping it here and there. And then I'll also be like making comments on it. Just kind of reacting to it. I'm not going to watch the second part on here today because it is like 46 minutes. So maybe we'll watch it on the member stream if you guys are interested. This seems to be a pretty feisty case that got the conversation going. So we probably can check the rest of it out on the members live stream. So let's check out our good friend, Nate the lawyer. I need to check his channel and also need to tag this video in my description. Let me actually do that right now. If you guys want to watch the video without me, talking over it, here is the link to Nate's video. And then let me go ahead and get into my studio and do the link into the caption because I forgot to link it earlier. And then we'll get started. See, I lost followers on this live stream. Making people real mad. Real mad yelling at the screen, right? Okay, let's see here. Come on, edit. Let's get this in the details. We are going to drop Nate's video. Nate's video. And then we're going to paste it there. And then, yeah, so if you guys want to watch the video without my commentary, please do check out our good friend's Nate channel to see what he had to say and see what Samantha Markle had to say. I want to know how he got this interview. I have not asked him. I want to ask him. So let's go ahead and pop it over. Let me know, guys, if you can hear it. I'm going to turn it up. So hopefully it'll be a good sound for you guys. And we'll go here. I'm sharing the audio from the screen. So I'm hoping that it'll be good volume for you guys. So let's go here. Let's go playback at 1.5. And then, oops.
This is the one, the only Samantha Markle.
Right,
how are you doing today?
Well, it's been a long couple of days, but doing pretty well, all things considered. So good morning. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so let's just get into it. This has been a crazy situation for you, right? Like how's it feel? Because you're like the villain in this story. They've essentially tried to make you.
Let me know if you guys can hear it all right. It's kind of loud on my end, so I may turn it down a little bit. but just let me know. I'm gonna turn it down a teeny tiny bit because it's too loud for my ears. And I'm waiting to see the chat to let me know if y'all can hear it okay. Let's get back into this.
So how's it been going the past couple of days? Have you been getting press requests? Like what's been going on?
It's been weird. I
so
mean,
this
it's
came
been kind
out
of overwhelming, but I feel like, you know, it's, I don't know how to describe the feeling of having been attacked so long, you know, for several years now by really pricey PR. And finally, you know, it's like the world gets it. The world sees what's been going on. And you know, that coupled with their strings of lies, their horrid attacks on just about everybody left and right who challenges the discrepancies between PR, their narrative, and what they're seeing. It's like, if you question that, like the emperor's new clothes, you are publicly flogged, you're villainized, you're criminalized. And we don't live in the dark ages. We don't live in communist China. So that stuff has to stop. And I kind of feel like it's interesting for me with my counseling degree, and I love sociology and social phenomena, to see like that we're not that far from the 1600s, that people get caught up in this groupthink swell that is generated by really powerful PR houses. And it's hard to de-escalate. Like once that groupthink thing gets going, you can throw all the evidence.
So she's basically trying to say it's a PR thing. So they're basically coming after her and attacking her. I really wish I could know what was really the start of all of this. And I really feel like she could have put it in her complaint. Meghan said this about me, so I got out there and said this about her, and this is how it snowballed. But what she's saying started the feud, I'm not seeing how Meghan started it. It kind of sounds like she's the one that started it, and now she's claiming because Meghan has money and a PR team, then she's being attacked. Are we playing victim, or are we actually a victim? Y'all said this is gonna change my mind. Y'all are saying this is gonna change my mind. So let's see if it changes
out there. You
my
want
mind.
to say this is the truth. This is not just my truth. Here's some evidence. This is the truth, and they still deny it. They still want to carry the torch for their fantasy or whatever their narrative is. So it's kind of weird. It feels weird to be caught in the crux of that. It's kind of exhausting. But from a sociological perspective, it's really fascinating. So I try and, although it's very personal, I try and separate myself and look at what's really going on, not just in this situation, but in the world today.
I want to first show you this.
Okay.
This is insane. These are the reviews on Rotten Tomato of the docuseries now. And as you can see, this thing is being crushed. It's 38% rotten. For the audience, it's 15%. 15% of the audience like it. And look at some of these reviews. Here's some of the reviews from the critics. Harry and Meghan offers too little that feels fresh, enough to merit its luxurious 6-episode sprawl for all but the most fervent royal watchers. Like people are crushing this thing. They're saying, what do you get when you mix hypocrisy, narcissism, lies, half-truths, under-serving self-pity? You mean arrogant people? A lonesome Harry and Meghan. David from the US. So,
all right. So we're talking about the reviews of the show. I'll let y'all know. I didn't watch it. I'm not watching it. I don't support them unless I absolutely need to watch it for like our coverage or something. I'm not watching it. Am I surprised it has bad reviews? No. Because guess what? Everybody attacks Meghan Markle. So yes, I'm sure it's going to have bad reviews. And they're mad that they left the royal house. So Chris Mullin says, I like Nate, but he has a strong dislike for Meghan and Harry based on his feud with Boozy. So he is somewhat biased against them. Yeah, I know he has a feud with Boozy. I didn't know if his like for or non-like for Meghan is based on it, but I can see that this is very Samantha Markle favored, and we're just now starting. Or maybe we could more rephrase it as kind of against Meghan Markle. So I don't know if it's based on the Chris Boozy thing, but yeah, no, I like Nate. I think he's a good lawyer. I think he's a good law tuber, if that's what you want to call it. He's doing great on his channel. Love his channel. But I am seeing this going. Like I said, this is live reaction. I have not watched it. Ratings on the show, that doesn't surprise me, to tell you the truth. Chris Mullin also says, I think the toxic British media started the feud. I would not be surprised. Essie says, dang, Nate, you didn't have to do them like that. Putting their reviews out there, right? Laudner Amber says, to Chris, agree. She probably already had a bit of jealousy for Meghan Markle. I think I missed whatever comment that was above. Cheryl C said, just my opinion, but if it doesn't have to do with the lawsuit directly, I don't really need to hear anything of that they have to say. In my opinion, if Samantha Markle has proof of something, it will be in the lawsuit. I agree with you, Cheryl C. Like you talk about, she was talking about the PR is going against her. Why is none of that in the lawsuit? Why is there nothing saying like, oh, this is what started it in the lawsuit? Like I said earlier, what she says started it does not seem like it was Meghan starting it. That's just my opinion on it. So I agree with you there. Let's see. I don't know what this structure is. I'm gonna try to watch it, y'all, but I don't know if it's really
The fact that these
I don't know if it's really fit in our content for today, honestly.
docuseries is being
I wanna hear
essentially
more of her
destroyed by both the media and even on reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. How does that make you feel? Because you're the villain in the story, and people are going and saying this story is a bad story, and some people are saying that they don't believe the story. It seems to be all lies.
Well, yeah, I mean, how do I feel? It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, part of me, like people said, are you worried about this? No, because when something's got no merit, it's like they can turn blue and create all this crap all they want. It doesn't mean anything. I think by now people know, especially it's been demonstrated over a couple of years, just lie after lie after lie, whether it was the Archbishop or the royals or how she was raised or having to live on salad bars and just lie after lie, even about very small things. It's like, wow,
she's a liar.
it really would have been so easy just to tell the truth and say, look, I come from a normal middle class family. This is how I was raised. This is how I went to school. Instead of all of this stuff, because when you do all that stuff, then you got to spin to try and either justify it or get out of it. And it's too much energy when you can take that energy and put it into positive things and the truth. But to see it and to see that, although you showed me those and most people are shredding it and they know it's lies, there's still this cluster of crazy cronies. They're going, ooh, and that, and that, and that, that react to it negatively and emotionally instead of intelligently and proactively looking for logical strings or evidence. They just want to vent. It's like an opiate for them. It's like a blood fest in a Roman gladiator coliseum all over again.
So let's do this.
I would disagree with that because I don't think I have a horse in the race. I think I'm pretty unbiased, just basically looking at the law. Where are the facts? Where are we showing that this is all Meghan's fault? I don't see that. I don't see that happening for me. So I don't know if you guys are in agreement with that. I see what she's saying about, oh, let's just watch the drama and let's just go against her because that's what the media is saying. But I also see it that let's just go against Meghan because that is what, Samantha is alleging in her lawsuit. We saw some of those comments coming through during the live stream, like, oh no, Meghan is the one in the wrong, blah, blah, blah. Me reading the lawsuit, I just don't think that she's pleading sufficient facts to prove a defamation case. And then the fact that she's not pleading sufficient facts, in my opinion, it just makes me a little annoyed because you're a grown lady whining about whether you had a close relationship with her or not. Who cares? Let's just admit the reason why you do care is because now your book is not selling. When was the last time you were a therapist? Bring those facts in. Are you really trying to be a therapist at 50? What is she, 57? Are you really trying to be a therapist right now? Or are you trying to retire? Which one is it? Are you trying to retire off the book sales? That's what I want to know. Bring me the facts. Like, how's it damaging your reputation? Did they run you out of your small town in Florida? I don't know. She lost job opportunities. I think she mentioned that in one of them. What job opportunity? What job did you apply to? Okay, ma'am. I don't know. And then she says that she has this diagnosis and it causes her stress. Why is she out here doing interviews still? Even doing an interview with Nate, you're still putting yourself out here. Like, come on. If you have all of this stress. Let's see. Essie saying, no ageism, Bree. She could still be a therapist. My question is, most people start to retire at this time. So my question would be, is she actually still trying to be a therapist? Before Meghan started talking, I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm sorry if it came off like that. But my question is, was she trying to be a therapist, or is she trying to shift over more into being an author and trying to make money off of selling her book? I'm under the impression that she already stopped being a therapist and she took some years off. Is she really gonna try to get back into it, or was she banking on selling that book? That's my question. Sorry if it came off as ageism. Missy Dee Moo says, oh, looking forward to that, Ari. Mary Malaki says, I followed the story since Samantha Markle first popped up on Twitter. Once she began getting interviewed by British media, she went full on toxic towards Meghan. And Samantha is saying the opposite. She's saying that Meghan went full on toxic towards her, or became her foe, as she called it. Chris Mullen says she wants to sell her books So all this is publicity for her. Agreed. Even us just looking up her book, right? Getting her some publicity. Tiny D says, I don't know much about Meghan Markle other than the Oprah interview. Didn't follow anything else, so I don't love or hate anyone. I just feel like Samantha Markle is doing the most. I'm right there with you, Tiny D. I just don't see her. I don't see the case. I don't see the case. It's more of a like, to me, it comes off of give me attention. I'm not using my famous sister's name for clout and to become famous, but at the same time, I'm writing a book about my famous sister so that I can sell books and get clout and become a famous author. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Ari says, I thought she said she was out of work because of her MS. I thought she was out of work too, but now she's saying that she's out of work because Meghan is talking mess about her. But we're on version 3 of this lawsuit, so I'm all turned around now. Right. Natalie says Catherine was a commoner. I don't know who Catherine is. Who married into the royal. Kate. Married into the royal family, first person in 100 years to do it. Her parents were hardworking business owners, and that's not necessarily hardworking business owners. She's an outsider marrying in. They're gonna have stuff to say about her. They had stuff. Is the Catherine the same person as Kate? Are those the same people? Because I'm making them the same people. And is Kate the one that's married to William? Y'all gotta help me out here. Yes, they're always gonna complain because they complained when Kate Middleton, right? That's the same person as Catherine. They complained when she got into the royal family too. So you're in that limelight. They just complained about her fingernails being red. Right? They have all these strict rules. They're going to complain about anyone that comes into the royal family. Law Nerd Amber says, better a rogue employee than an intern. As he says, I see. I wasn't really calling you out, Bree. That wasn't my tone behind it. My bad. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm like, let me fix it. Remember, Malaki says, hey, say hey to my favorite Merce. Alpha, I think he's studying. He's studying for his test. But I'll let him know you said hey. Cheryl C says, if Johnny Depp couldn't prove that he lost the Pirates film, how could, please, preach, Cheryl C. If Johnny Depp couldn't prove that he lost the Pirates film and other films, right? Johnny Depp is a real famous guy. How could Samantha Markle possibly prove that she lost job opportunities? Where are those job applications? Were you submitting resumes? That's the type of evidence I want to see. If she can, she would have the denial email letter for the suit. Yes, for sure. Amanda Beach Life says, I tell people all the time that life is like a coin. You have the right side, the left side, in the middle. In this case, the truth is in the middle. They are both wrong. Exactly. Like I said, maybe Meghan is lying. Maybe she's lying straight through her teeth. She's not rags to riches. She's not Drake. Drake is not Drake. He did not start from the bottom. Now he's here. Meghan did not start from the bottom. And maybe she's a lying liar who lies. But is it defamation? I don't think so. I think the things that she's saying about Samantha, that Samantha is pulling out, are opinions. I think they're opinions. I think if she said like Samantha doesn't have MS, that would be a lie. That would be a lie. She would be able to prove that. But that's not the type of stuff she's saying. She's just saying, I wasn't close to her. I don't know her like that. So that's just. All right. Kate Middleton is actually Catherine Middleton, who is now Princess Catherine of Wales. Okay. That's what I thought. I thought I was right. Cool. All right. Samantha Markle needs to use her therapy skills and practice self-care. Let it go and say to hell with it. Lion, bratty little sister. Right. If she's a liar, she's a liar. Let her be a liar. But I don't think it's defamation. I really just don't think it's defamation.
I want you to look at, so here's one clip from the show that talks about, so this is episode 2, and this is where they start going into Meghan's past. They're trying to get us, to convince us that, about Meghan's upbringing. So I want you to listen to this part real quick.
All right.
Looking this good comes at a price, but not as much as you think. I got a great deal on this bag from Vestiaire Collective. It's the place to buy and sell, pre-loved. Luxury fashion. Vestiaire Collective.
Is,
Long live fashion.
Can y'all
It's time for me to get set up for therapy, and I use
turned
this
off
room
the
as my
volume 'cause
office,
I don't wanna-
but the desk is over here. And so when I'm
Hear me?
seated at the desk, this is the background.
All right. We got you a little bit of
My parents lived in the valley
volume
until I was about 2. And when their relationship ended, she and I moved to maybe like a 40-minute drive from there. At the time, it was mostly a Black community where my mom and I were living.
Okay.
We were close to my mom, her grandma. My sister was close by, and my girlfriends were close by. So we had a nice network of women who really helped me raise Meg.
So this clip is absolutely
My girl looks so shocked. She's like, what?
See,
No,
like, Meghan was raised by her mother, and after the split, but then I was reading some stuff online where it seemed like her father had raised her after the split. So I was just confused.
Okay.
Was the father involved in any, or was it just as you're saying, it was just a Black woman and her, and they were just two alone?
Not. So after the Valley,
Okay, I'm getting asked to turn down the volume. You know, at first I couldn't get the volume to share, and now apparently I got it set up pretty good now. Jazzy G says this is a weird ad. It was weird, right? Chelsea says, Bree, can you turn the volume down a little? Yes, I turned it down. I think my computer shares the volume differently now, so I turned it down to like half, so let me know. Our volume is fine. The video is kind of loud. Okay. Mine is fine. Okay, got it. So I turned it down a little bit. Let me know in the comments still.
Meghan was
too loud.
spending half-time during the week between Dad and Doria, but at some point it became spending weekends and or every other weekends with Doria, and she lived primarily with Dad. He lived on Vista Del Mar in Hollywood, and she was in Los Angeles. So this whole my mom and I moved, that is a lie. That is a lie. And I think so far, so many people have come forward. Tom Bauer, other journalists and researchers verified that what is in my book was true. That's been verified. That's been debunked. Let's just set that straight right here. Dad gave her everything, every dance class, every day of education, picked her up, dropped her off at school. He was working on Married with Children. She admitted to being raised on the set. And furthermore, if you look back in the TIG archives by her own attestation, Dad is everything. My dad is this. My dad taught me to draw my own box. She didn't mention her mother. What's up with that? The bottom line is Doria was not her primary parent. She did not move with Doria. That's a nice fuzzy story, but people in the neighborhood did not help her raise her.
Well,
no, this is just so like
this sounds insane. So she went to, it seems like a private school. Was that a private school or public school she went to?
She went to private schools from kindergarten, all preschool, all the way up.
So who paid for that? Was it Doria?
Dad paid every penny. Doria didn't have a career that would have allowed it. Dad paid for the Little Red Schoolhouse, which is like a celebrity little private elementary school, kindergarten, elementary school. And then she went to Immaculate Heart for junior high and high school, and then Northwestern. Dad paid every penny for every second, every minute, every hour.
What did I say earlier? When you don't have custody, maybe he did have custody. We don't know. Like I said, maybe Meghan is a liar who lies. Who knows? Who cares? What does that have to do with defamation? Saying that you're not close with them or you don't like them no more, that is not defamation. But he had the money to pay for things. And a lot of times, dads be like, no, I'm not taking my kid for you to go on a vacation for a week because I paid my child support this month. And so unless you're going to give me a part of my child support back, then I'm not watching the kids during your time. So sometimes when people pay for stuff, they feel like they are the primary parent. Let's see. Let's go back to it. But my girl, she feisty about it. They did not raise her. All right.
Or every day, every week, month, year. Of her education and life.
So why would she want to essentially erase her father from the picture if he's paying for school? If she's living with him most of the time, and as you're saying, if she's raised by her father, is it? It makes me think.
Here's my observation. This is what I think happened. Both sides of the family were kept away from the wedding. My uncle Mike, who worked for the State Department, was kept away from the wedding. So, in my opinion, Meghan apparently, and Piers Morgan and others pointed this out, I believe she told the royal family so many porky pies that the only way to keep those from coming to the surface at the wedding was to keep everyone away from the wedding, because people drank champagne and they start talking about picnics and Thanksgiving and do you remember this and do you remember that? And the result would be, wow, so wait a minute, I thought you said you worked for the embassy. So the news and the media started criticizing her about Dad. She's awful. Why is she ignoring her own dad? So it seems like she had to throw more dirt and create a separation of he never did all these great things for me, because people were condemning her for giving her everything, and then she throws them away. So then now.
Do you mean after you said that she didn't call him when he was sick? Do you mean after that? Do you mean after they probably got into it because he was doing interviews. Was he already doing interviews or not doing interviews? Because guess what? You can have a good relationship with somebody and then that relationship diminishes. She's saying herself that the dad put her through acting classes, celebrity schools, things like that. Maybe as she grew up, she felt too much pressure. I don't know. This is all me just speculating. Maybe she felt too much pressure, or maybe she felt like her dad was trying to use her to get her famous. We don't know how Meghan felt. So she could not have a good relationship with him for different reasons that she never vocalized to Samantha Markle. I don't know. I don't like the way that she's speculating there. I don't like that. And he put her through all these celebrity schools. Maybe she felt used. Elise Lynch says money isn't all a daughter needs. Meghan may feel differently than Samantha views it. Exactly. Like I said, same thing when she said, I took her to kindergarten. She would never forget me because I will be riding in the car with dad. Why would she remember some girl riding in the car with a dad being silent? Like, I don't know. Was she talking to her? These questions. Tiny D says that's what she thinks. Yes. And don't forget, I remember like when she was not inviting people to the wedding, everyone was speculating about Meghan, just like Samantha is speculating now. Oh, maybe she kept us away because she told so many lies that she couldn't even have them around. Or maybe she thought she would be embarrassed by your behavior there, because guess what? She was already being embarrassed by her own behavior that the royal family did not think that she was doing correctly. There could be a lot of reasons. Or maybe you guys were in the press talking about how she didn't come and see her dad when he was sick. Like, there could be a lot of reasons, not that maybe she did tell lies. Maybe she is a liar. I don't know. I don't know if she's a liar. But it sounds like she could possibly be a liar. But like Meghan could possibly be a liar. But is it defamation? I don't think so.
Oh, the reflex is, oh my God, seemingly, I've got to make it like he wasn't involved in my life to take away from what people are saying, to change the narrative. So I'm going to make it a matriarch card, make it all about mom. I was raised by her. She had to struggle to raise me by myself, when the world already knows. The receipts are already there that dad was her primary parent, paid for everything.
And things that happened too, as far as custody goes, maybe her mom felt obligated to let her go live with the dad so that she could have a better life. She keeps on pointing out that the mom didn't have money. That's messed up. And maybe she was like, oh, my daughter, like when people give their kids up for adoption because they don't have money, that could have been a situation too. And maybe she felt like her mom doing that was a big sacrifice and that did really help her. You don't know how she felt. I don't know. You don't know how
sacrifice, sweat, the stages she danced on, had her on the set of Married with Children. She even said in an interview that she was raised on the set of Married with Children. Well, your mother didn't work on Married with Children. How is that? Do that math.
It seems like her father was more of a weekend father. Again, it's just my impressions of the documentary. It seems like her father was just a weekend father and was taking, and mom was like the sole person. All of that is false. Then you're telling all of that is essentially false. It's a reverse. So I do want to ask you. I want to show you this next clip, because this next clip. Now, this is all about.
Is it a certain time frame, or is she saying this was her whole childhood?
They said, so it seems like in this documentary, they said, Samantha, we're going to make sure we just go at Samantha hard. And I mean hard. So here you are. Here is your big moment in this thing. It's insane.
On the first day, I did $12,000. And that was like,
Nate got the ads. Nate got the ads for days. I love to give you some money, but that's not what we're here for.
That was cool.
We did about the UK media, I truly believe, wanted my mom's side of my family to be the ones that all this drama could be stirred up with. And suddenly you just have my mom, who's classy and quiet in there. And then you have the other side of my family that is just, acting differently. My half-sister, who I hadn't seen for over a decade, and that was only for a day and a half, suddenly it felt like she was everywhere. I don't know your middle name. I don't know your birthday. You're telling these people that you raised me and you coined me Princess Pushy?
You called her Princess Pushy.
17 years older than her. And Meghan and I left when she was 2.
They're saying, hey, you were 17 years older. They left when you were 2. What are you talking about? And she's saying, hey, I don't even know who this woman is. She's out of nowhere, right? And it's saying that she raised you. I don't know you. So let us know what's going on.
Let's go back to the touchy-feely little, the melodrama of my mother's so quiet and classy. And I read a report that she gets an allowance, and there was a lot of controversy around the fact that Doria gets an allowance. So while she's not being paid she said, and she's quiet and classy. What's this allowance? And how is it that the media came out and her PR came out and said that Doria was their advisor in all things? I personally doubt that she's not being paid. So with regards to quiet and classy, I look at her now. I don't see her being all that quiet. Maybe she was at one time. So what was the point about that? I mean, she's trying to throw dirt on the rest of the family for speaking as they're doing a documentary that allegedly paid Harry and Meghan $100 million for talking about everybody. Who's the villain? And they were operating behind multi-million-dollar PR firms from the very beginning, telling their story while discrediting others. So, but they're trying to throw dirt on other people just to discredit and silence them. So that was a weak point. Let's shoot holes in that argument right away.
The last thing she said was, "We moved out when she was 2. You're 17 years older. You really don't know Meghan." So did you have a relationship with Meghan after she was 2? Because again, Meghan is trying to make it seem like she just seen you around, right? She doesn't know you. She doesn't know your name, all this other stuff, right?
Yeah,
So she's really downplaying your connection with her.
Sandy and Joe and my brother Tom and me, if you look at the media, there are salient photographs in the media over a lifespan. Not just 1 or 2 encounters bumping into each other in a hallway, but over a lifespan. And so when Meghan was born, she was brought home from the hospital to our house. Doria moved in with us in Santa Monica first when they started dating. And I was a teenager. I was in Santa Monica. I was like 13, 14. And so that apartment got to be a little bit too small. We got the house in Woodland Hills. They got married. Meghan.
One thing I will say though, and I don't know if this is part of the story, but sometimes when kids are born a lot younger than their older siblings, then there's kind of already this strained relationship. And then in addition to that, Meghan is, let's be honest, Meghan is half Black. And sometimes when a half Black person is born into a family that's not of the same race, more oftentimes a white family, they are treated differently. And we don't know if Meghan felt like that in her dad's family. Just because there's pictures with you doesn't necessarily mean that you had a good relationship. Just because you took pictures with people doesn't mean that you know them. I have plenty of pictures with people I don't know. And the thing is, they could have been like, oh, go take a picture with your sister. And then she just took a picture with her sister. Doesn't mean that the relationship was close. As you see, a lot of those pictures that they even flashed were when Meghan was very small. I think there was only like 1 picture or 2 pictures where she looked like a teenager. But most of the pictures were when she was really small. So again, it could be Meghan's perception. I don't think we can discredit her perception.
She was born, she brought home from the hospital. So Tom and I were like, cool, a baby sister in the house. And naturally, time doesn't go that fast. That's a lot of time, a lot of daily life events. When you got a baby in the house, you're carrying the baby around on your shoulders, you're babysitting, you're burping, you're feeding, you're playing in the hallway and giggling and doing Christmas and Thanksgiving with the Raglins, with Sandy and Eugene, with Jeanette, doing family stuff like on a regular basis. You're not just, oh, I ran into them once or twice in my life. That was when she was little. By the time Doria and Dad divorced and, problems started, they both moved out of the house in Woodland Hills and each got a place. Dad was in Hollywood, Doria was in Los Angeles. But that doesn't mean it's all of a sudden Meghan and Doria against the world by themselves. Meghan did not move with Doria. Meghan effectively moved with Dad and Doria. It was both of them. She was splitting time. That was when she was really small, up through like junior high. It was a split time thing. And then when she got to junior high, Dad was the primary parent. She moved in with Dad and saw her mother on the weekends sometimes.
Wow, okay, she finally gave us the time frame. Did she not just say earlier in the interview that she did not move with Doria and that the people didn't help her raise her? She said that. She said when they split, she moved with Dad. Now she just turned around and said, no, it was split time until junior high. Which one is it, Samantha? Which one is it? What's the story? What's the story? What's the story? And you're saying split time. Was that still weekend? Did he only have weekends? What is the split time? Oh my gosh. So someone said it earlier. I can't remember exactly who said it earlier. There's one side, the left, the right side, the left side, in the middle. It sounds like the truth is somewhere in the middle. And Samantha's perception of what her living schedule is can be a lot different because by the time Meghan is 12, what is Samantha, 30 something? She's 30 something. How does she know Meghan's schedule? She wouldn't. She has her own kids. Why is she paying attention to when Meghan is at Dad's house and when Meghan is at her mom's house? That doesn't make sense. Why are you that infatuated with what she has going on? I don't know.
And then for a while, we didn't see her for years. And I was like, I didn't think to question, where is Doria? But Meghan lived with Dad. Dad took her to Immaculate Heart every single day, drove her, picked her up. The same thing with the Little Red Schoolhouse. I'm backtracking a little bit, but it was dad there every day. And then when Meghan was in junior high, I also lived right below them in the flat on Vista Del Mar. And I took a management job at the Beverly Center. So it's like all this, Babe and Tom were never there. Doria and my dad always called me Babe. That was my nickname. Babe and Tom were never there. Well, we were there. But I think Doria and Meghan wanted to create this separation.
Is she crazy? Oh my gosh, let me not get in trouble. She just said, I lived in the flat underneath them. So you lived in an apartment underneath them. Were you going to the house every day? No, I've lived with my parents and been in the room and they don't see me for a week. So if you live in a whole different unit, that's not living together. And you're an adult. I don't believe her.
Like it was them against the world. And what's so weird about that is teachers have come forward, people who interacted with Meg, the people on Married with Children know dad was her primary parent. So you can't make all that go away.
Yeah, because the time, see, that's the thing that always gets me so confused about sometimes, because Meghan says a lot. And one of the things that gets me confused about the timeline is that she says after 2, essentially they make it seem like it was just her and mom. And right now, what you're saying is that they did move out after 2, but it was kind of like a split little thing where it was 50-50. But then after junior high, Meghan was all with
you lie. Oh my gosh, did we not just comment on this? Oh my gosh, she said when they split up, she moved with dad. Oh my gosh, like did we not catch this? Oh, let me be quiet. And if her logic works, if her logic for Meghan Markle publishing the show works, then technically whatever she's saying on Nate's channel and now on my channel, right? Because now I'm publishing it. We would be liable for what she's saying. And I just don't think that's gonna apply. So no.
Your dad and Doria was the one that was gone. So it seems like, why the manipulation, right? Why remove dad, who seems to be a great dad? He's taking her to school, everything, paying for all this stuff.
This is Wix.
Gosh, Nate. Oh my gosh, with the ads. Let me go and get through the ads for y'all. Oh my gosh, how many ads do we need? Can y'all still hear me when I pause the ads? Can y'all hear what I'm saying when I pause the ads? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, y'all are not liking Nate's coverage. I'm sorry. He is a friend of the channel. I did not watch this. Mary says, I love seeing Bree put the pieces together. She is catching up quick. Yeah, everything she says contradicts itself. So maybe Meghan is a liar. Or maybe she's not, because you just said she moved with dad. Now you're saying it was 50-50 until junior high. Which one was it? But you're calling her a liar by saying that the dad raised her the whole time. I have plenty of clients where the kid lives with one parent, but one parent does the drop-off. So I don't know. I'm not liking Nate's coverage. I'm trying to keep our legal tube community together. Lana Amber says, notice Nate doesn't catch any of that, Bree. He didn't catch it. And I caught that immediately. She lied. She very much so contradicted herself. If they split time, I don't even think it was 50-50. I'm leaning more towards Meghan is telling the truth, that she was more there on the weekends with dad. And he put her into the extracurriculars to be the quota. That's what I'm on the line with. Elise Lynch says she literally just said it was joint, then said it was primary. Yeah. And then now it's primary and junior high. Which one is it? Ari says a split thing, laughing my A off. I think I can't with Nate. That's what he said. Yeah, so she said, I don't know. She's contradicting herself for me. Crafting and listening and trying to keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, chat's spicy. It calmed down a little bit. Elise said, unfortunately, Nate feels really biased. On this stream, I would have to agree with that. Okay, you guys can still hear me when I pause the ad. Okay, good. I want to make sure. Teresa Buck says, nothing Meghan Markle says is worth trusting, in my opinion. I feel like I could say the same thing about Samantha Markle. Honestly, I don't care who's lying. It don't affect me none. They both might be liars. Liar, pants on fire. But is it defamation? I'm not finding the defamation. I'm sorry, I can't. Hear you when I pause the ads, but hard to hear when the video is playing. Okay. But is the video volume better? I still can hear me. Back from the dead, y'all. It seems spicy in here. It was spicy. You missed a lot. I was planning on streaming for an hour today. We are almost at 3 hours, and I'm going to get in trouble later. Let me finish the video.
Why remove him from the equation?
Exactly. Remove dad because she's trying seemingly to reframe her social narrative, the image of herself. And the only way to do that with all of that controversy out there about how could she be so horrible to her own dad who gave her everything, ignore him through 2 heart attacks, a pandemic, and a stroke. Let's now make it like to people who maybe weren't privy to the information, the receipts, and everything that was already out there debunked. Let's create a whole new story and make it look like dad was never in the equation. So then they'll think if they do come by fragments of the stories about dad, they'll think, oh, he was just a liar. He was just a deadbeat, weekend dad, which is seemingly what they're trying to do now, even though everybody already knows that's not true. Tom Bauer verified it. Other journalists have verified it. The receipts are there. They've spoken to school officials. Lady Colin Campbell spoke about it. Their researchers are very good. And they spoke to people who interacted with my dad on a daily, regular basis, that he not only paid for everything, but he was the consummate hands-on dad about everything. And I think Doria, in my opinion, is starting to do this now. I mean, she looks a little bit bitter. I hate to say it.
Now I do want to mention, you have multiple degrees. You have multiple master's degrees, and you are a professional. So how has this affected your professional practice? Because obviously, them saying all these horrible things about you, has to have some effect on your life personally and what you do.
Well, sure, because you've got in the beginning of all this, when the PR started, the media reflex, and a lot of it was behind a paywall, paid PR. We're writing articles just opining, she's a crazy old hag. Oh, she's crazy. She's jealous. But a social label of crazy that is not backed by evidence, but that's just an opinion by someone put out there by someone powerful who has a job, working for a tabloid or a blog, and they put that out there in bold black font with a headline, whether it's fixated persons list or crazy or jealous. People in their busy days, because let's face it, life moves really fast. People don't always have time to sit down and read the small print. And furthermore, they don't have time to go use empirical thinking skills and deductive reasoning and go find other sources and look for real evidence to compare and contrast and then extrapolate what makes sense and stitch it all together. They're so reluctant to just take that bold font headline and go, oh my God, she's this and she's that. And
everybody just reads the headline, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, why does she feel like hella swingy is there? Why do you care? Why do you feel like you have to justify? No, dad did everything for her. Why do you feel like you need to take that stand? And Elise says, who looks bitter? She seems a little bitter to me, especially with this lawsuit and especially the way that she's talking about Meghan. Let's get this together. The way she's talking about Meghan's childhood. As if she was living Meghan's life.
And I thought we evolved past that. So how did it personally affect me? Well, there was a time, and I think I'm coming out of it now, and my credibility is restored. But to take a woman in a wheelchair who's got 2 counseling degrees and suddenly throw this label, burn her at the stake, she's crazy. She says, of course, it was personally and professionally injurious, and because of the wide scale, the magnitude of it, and the aggregate news effect of it, and making it a little bit bolder, it was personally and professionally injurious. People believed it, not only in my professional networks, but family and friends. I mean, I think it took a while for people to step aside and be able to say, let's ask Samantha. Let's
just ask her, right?
Well, when people are wanting, like in the 1600s, when they label you a witch and they want to set fire to your feet and burn you at the stake, you can stand there and say, no, I'm not a witch all you want, but they're going to want to throw you in the water and make you float to prove it.
That's true. No, I think you're 100% right. But one thing I wanted to add is that, I've looked over your lawsuit because you actually have a lawsuit for defamation against your sister for making some of the claims that we're about to hear now. And that lawsuit survived the motion to dismiss. They tried to dismiss it. So, and so it's going to trial. How does that change anything that they're saying now? Because obviously they have to be more careful because you have them in a lawsuit. Can you just talk about what's going on with the lawsuit?
You're getting out there and you're saying, she is this, she is that. You're making false misstatements of fact. That's defamation. And when it's injurious to someone, as it has been to me, damaging my credibility, it's like a character assassination.
Of course, yeah, because you have a professional career that you also.
We asked her how it affected her career, and she just went around the question. How did it affect your career? Did you put in job applications and didn't get the job? No. So what are you talking about? It affected your career. You were already not working, allegedly.
I have to maintain too. And the same thing with me and Chris Boozy, right? Chris Boozy just comes out and the lies that he told about me it's just so obvious. Nate's not a lawyer. Fake. Nate's hasn't worked at the DA's office. False. Nate wasn't
But you can prove those things to be false. Her statements that she's trying to prove to be false, you cannot prove them to be false. She even contradicted herself and said that the dad had custody and then say, oh no, never mind, it was 50-50. Oh no, and then never mind. Like, no, you can't even prove it to be true or false.
College professor, false. So, and it seems like, and obviously Chris Boozy was working for the Meghan Markle team. So it seems like they just go down that path where they feel they can say anything about you and try to destroy your career, right? And when you then fight and you file these defamation suits, it's like, oh, well, you're the bad person for standing up for your rights. So I'm in the same boat as you.
If I were to go to an office and apply for a job as a counselor, you Google my name and it's got all of these nasty Trojan-rated hashtags, and they get their bots and they get in there and they create millions of hashtags. So if you Google someone, they've got it so that it comes up at the top of search engines, all these nasty falsified hashtags that really are defamatory. So, I think that should be illegal. I think social media platforms and Google, although freedom of speech is important, when it's defamatory, when it's demonstrably false, those hashtags shouldn't be allowed because they monopolize the search engine with your name. It is defamation. It's character assassination.
Yeah, there's a famous Supreme Court quote that says, speech is free, but lies you pay for. And that's essentially what defamation is. Speech is free, but lies you pay for.
All right. Well, that's part one of the Samantha Markle interview. I still don't feel bad for her. For those of you that came in at the beginning of the stream saying I should have watched the interview first, I still don't feel bad for her. I think she's lying. I think Meghan Markle's probably lying. I think they all lying. But guess what? It's not defamation. Nate said he feels like he's in the same boat as Samantha Markle. I don't agree. I think the things that Chris Boozy said about him can be proven to be truth. He can prove that he worked at the DA. He can prove that he's a lawyer simply by just going on the his state bar's website. All of those things he can prove. But Meghan Markle cannot prove that she was close to her growing up. As we just saw, a majority of the pictures that she showed to us of Meghan Markle were when she was very small. Talk about there's a plethora of pictures. Just because you take pictures with people does not mean that you have a close relationship. I'm telling you, I have pictures with people I don't know either. So I don't agree that Nate is in the same position as Meghan Markle as far as the defamation. I think he has a more of a claim than Samantha Markle does. Samantha Markle, I don't think that she's going to, be able to prove that the statements that Meghan Markle made were a fact. I think that they're opinion. I think they're very opinion-based. The court asked her to clarify the statements a little bit more, and she just put the same statements and then added more stuff from the Netflix documentary. I don't know. And then she's going to try to hold her liable for what Christopher Boozy said and what Henry said. It's not going to work. That's not going to work. All right, let me see. We are almost done with the live stream. That was supposed to be a short one, but here we go. Let's see. Lambe Bay says, here we go with the bots. They shut down bots in Tino, didn't they? Chelsea says, in Nate's defense, he doesn't hide his bias against Meghan Markle. He isn't a journalist, so this is the exact interview I expected. That makes sense. It was here to get Samantha's side of the story out. Unfortunately for me, she just came off as a liar for me. And not to say that Meghan Markle is not a liar. She may also be a liar. But Samantha Markle definitely lied. Not only has she changed her story multiple times in her complaints, but now she changed her story within a 20-minute interview. So I still don't believe her. For whoever was not harassing me, but going off on me at the beginning of the live stream, talk about I don't know what I'm talking about. Why, if you watch this interview, you would hear her contradict herself, trying to call Meghan a liar, when in reality, she's a liar too. So why are we in this lawsuit? Everybody's just lying in this family. Green Mom says, how about prioritizing racism moderation in social media? That's something that does need to be prioritized. I agree with you. That happens a lot as far as your reach, other things. And the thing is, she's saying that Meghan's saying that she's a racist, which could also affect the way that she views Samantha. Maybe she does think she's a racist and she identifies as being Black. Hella Swanky says, one example, I just want one example from Sammy about how she was actually impacted. Her books were not being sold, Hella Swanky. She can't sell her books. That's how she's impacted. But he asked her straight up, how has it impacted your life? She gave us nothing. She just said, when you Google me, it pops up and it's negative. Okay, so are people Googling you because you sent in a resume and then they don't want to hire you? Like, I'm confused. As he says, I don't know, Nate. He might be blinded by his hate for Boozy. That could be a situation, and just kind of getting the information out there, maybe. And I think he also doesn't like Meghan Markle either. So it just goes. But I was definitely able to catch the contradiction there. Teresa Vogue says, anyone treating a Diane 96 queen like she did is not a person who can tell the truth. Are you talking about Meghan Markle? What did she do to the queen? What did she do? Hello Swanky says 100% he's emotionally invested in the content, huh? Mary Malarkey says, especially the way she's talking about Meghan's childhood as if she was living Meghan's life. Yes, thank you, Brie. Exactly. You were not walking next to Meghan every single day. You talk about you dropped her off at school on occasion and that you lived in the flat underneath her. Like, you didn't even live in the same house as her. Like, get out of here. Nathalia says, there is GDPR regulation that requires any company in the world to remove data for anyone from Europe. If that's demanded, people in Europe can demand Boozy deletes their data because of GDPR. Interesting. Tiny D says, yeah, she sidestepped a lot of those questions. Yes, she did. You are right. Hello Swanky said, exactly. Most of her claims aren't even quantifiable. That's where she's losing in the defamation case. Jazzy G says, I agree, both probably lying, but Meghan Markle can tell the story she wants about her life, given that we don't know how she feels about her perception. And who are we to tell her that she didn't get it out the mud? Who are we to tell her that? Maybe private school was hard, okay? Who is Samantha to tell her she didn't get it out the mud? Oh, let me get off this internet. Let me get off of the internet. Launder Amber says, in my opinion, they just, I don't want to read that. We're keeping log tube all good, but for sure, feel free to drop your comments in the chat, but I just don't want to say anything bad. Cheryl C says, I have pics of me with several celebrities and authors. I don't consider myself close to them. Girl, you better get out there and write that book. You better get out there and write the book. Hello Swanky says, it's about perspective, and those things that are factual aren't even remotely relevant. How did it ruin Europe? What was factual? I missed anything that was fact, Hello Swanky. Please let me know. Oh, she said that Meghan Markle says she's claiming that she raised me. I mean, I feel like Meghan Markle can make the same arguments that Samantha is making, of that you can insinuate that she's saying that you raised me. It got to go both ways. You can't just want us to insinuate things that she's saying and not insinuate the things that you're saying. Let's go. Mary says, come on, Nate, give her the hard questions. He tried to ask her questions. She just went around them. Slinky says, if pictures prove closeness in a relationship, I'm the most popular person probably in the world, right? In all of New Orleans. Right. And all the pictures was from when she was a baby. Before she moved out, probably. Hello, Swanky says, seeing as I was an event photographer, I got a lot of pics with people. Mama, I'm famous. Oh, yep. You better get out there. Get out there. Write your book. It's going to be my new saying. Write your book. Kimmy Davis says, Bria, I'm glad you still don't believe Samantha Markle. You're welcome. And she didn't convince me. Maybe I'm already too biased, but I don't think I'm too biased, honestly. I'm saying maybe Meghan is a liar. But is it defamation? No. Did Samantha also lie? Yes. So what are we doing here? We are the whole family is a liar. It's a lying family of lies. Lambe Bay says they're both liars. Nobody wins. Nobody gets a restraining order. There, I just solved the case. First one to talk owes me the other $1 billion. I agree. And then she gets on there and says, oh, she made that statement by accident of her not calling her dad. And then she gets on Nate's platform and makes the same allegation. That was an intentional statement. But in her complaint that she just presented a couple of days ago says that it wasn't intentional, but you intentionally said it again on Nate's platform. Oh, yeah. Elise says she deflected a couple of times. She sure did. Cheryl C says maybe her book is just bad. If she was not trying to make money off of Meghan Markle's likeness, she should have wrote a book about her dad and how he did everything for Meghan Markle, but not mention Meghan Markle's name. Let people infer it, like she's claiming that that Meghan Markle is doing what things she's saying. Tanya D says, Lambe Bay, thanks. I might have to take you up on that. I don't know exactly what you guys are talking about. Chris Mullen says, what did Meghan do to the Queen? You cannot believe anything the British media reports. They flat out make things up all the time. Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that one. Lambe Bay says, y'all, I just Googled her and I didn't see any of those terrible articles or hashtags. What did you find, Lambe Bay? You can still hire her. Google her name, Samantha Markle counselor, see if it pops up. Natalia says, I remember the way Harry glared at Meghan Markle when she said that fake curtsy in the documentary. That from her was disgusting. I didn't watch the documentary. Jose says, now that I think about it, LOL, the celebs with whom I still have a relationship, I don't even have any pics with them. LOL. I do have the cell number, though. Her proof isn't proof of anything. Girl, go write your book. Tiny says, they're sisters. They both lie. It runs in the blood. It runs in their blood. It runs in their blood. Mary says, thank you, Bree. Great contact tonight. Fantastic live stream and conversation, y'all. Thank you very much. Oh, guys, let's check our likes. We are only at 87 likes. We only have 13 more to go, and we're almost done live streaming. So if you have not already, please do hit the like button. It helps us out, and we want to reach our goals. We want to reach our goals today. All right, Jazzy cracking up. All right, not reading. Rachel Mills says, I almost went to Rachel Markle's school. And I think I have people I know who went to school with her. That's interesting. Tanya D says, thanks to Cheryl. My first one, so I'm nervous. Mary says, thank you, Bree. Great content. I think I already read that one. Where am I at? Hey, private school is hard. Yep. Ari says, Samantha Markle is doing the same thing with telling her story. She's just mad she didn't get a piece of the Netflix pie. She wanted to be able to tell her side of the story on Netflix, but you don't get invited to parties where you're trash talking people like you're doing on YouTube now. I was like, he says, laughing my A off. When I say a factual, I mean dad picked her up from school versus we were close. The first is quantifiable, provable, i.e. factual, but still hella irrelevant. Exactly. Yes, I agree. I agree for sure. Let's see. You guys are having a chat. Essie says, Bree, maybe private school was hard. Who knows? Racism could have made private school hard. She wasn't as white passing then. Oh, yeah, that's true too. Baby, I'm telling you, maybe she didn't get it out the mud. He says, that's the point. Meghan Markle could have been lying, but lying doesn't automatically equal defamation, and Samantha hasn't proven a defamation once. I agree. Lambe Bay says, I don't know if Samantha Markle knows the definition of defamation. Hey, her lawyers may not be telling her. He's saying, laughing my A off, genetic compulsive lying. They all lie. Lambe Bay says, I mean, I like to think that, but I don't. Otherwise, she would know she doesn't have a case. But she's filed 3 complaints, so she thinks she does have a case. And she's being dismissed, brought it back. Like, when are we going to let it go? I hope it gets dismissed again. I do. I hope it gets dismissed again. I think no one should win. They each pay their attorney's fees and go on about their lives. Sophia J says, the battle of who is the biggest best lie. The biggest sister lie. They should they should make a book called The Sisterhood of Traveling Lies. That's what they should do. Teresa says, when you damage someone's degree, that is an issue. What degree did we damage, or did she damage? I'm missing it, Teresa. I'm sorry. Rachel Mills says, I would tell you all about the school she went to. It's prissy proper. It's all girls and really expensive. A lot of the girls were snobs, but I didn't think they were as bad as people think. That's interesting. Hello Swikey says, y'all, sometimes I wish I could be a trash person. I have so much tea. I could open a shop, and yet people like Samantha Markle out here wreaking havoc. Right. Out here telling her story. But you go ahead, girl. I don't know. You wrote your book. It didn't sell. You applied for counseling jobs. Lambebe said it did not pop up that she shouldn't get a job because of these things. So I don't know what y'all think, but for me, I'm still not believing her. I do hope that the case gets dismissed. I don't think she has a claim for defamation. Like Hella Swinky has been saying, it's not quantifiable. We don't know. We just don't know how we can prove that if she was close to them, because I have a picture with them. I don't know. I don't think either. I feel like I barely have any pictures with my best friend, and I feel like we're close. I barely have pictures with my siblings, and I feel like we're very close. So I don't know. I think just the age gap in general and the fact that she wasn't living there makes it a little bit more realistic that they weren't close. And the fact that she came from, not to say half siblings aren't as close, but you're older, you're from a different family, racism back then. I don't know. I feel like I'm more along the lines with Meghan Markle as far as them being close because of her age at the time when she was associated with her. She was way younger. Like I said, it could have just been like a random aunt that comes and visits versus like a close sibling. I understand her on that part. The other stuff, still stuff I feel like you can't prove. The biggest thing that she could prove is whether or not Meghan Markle said, or Samantha Markle said that she raised Meghan, but I think Meghan also has the same argument that Samantha has of, well, people can insinuate that she changed her last name for clout. Same way people can insinuate that Samantha is claiming that she raised Meghan Markle. So I think it can kind of go both ways. I don't know if that's defamation. I don't think it is. So that was all for today. I will see you lovelies on Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or somewhere around that time. I'll make the post. I don't know if we should watch the rest of Nate's interview. I don't know. But I am going to check out some stories and see what we can cover. And then some of the stuff we may just go back and cover things that we already covered over the last month. Just kind of do a recap of the different cases and what you guys think about them. I don't know the format yet, but we will be here live. Guys, let's go ahead and check the likes. We are at 90 likes, only 10 away from our goal. So if you have not already hit the like button, please do hit the like button. It definitely helps out the stream. When I get off of here, I'm going to go hit the like button. I don't know if we're going to make it to 100 tonight, but we are really close. We are really close to the 100 likes. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I will see you on Saturday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday, and we'll be here